StarsWar 11星际争霸2线下总决赛即将开始，让我们有请双方选手登场。herO。 StarsWar 11星际争霸2线下赛总决赛即将开始。人族选手 Maru 对阵神族选手 herO， 让我们一起期待这场精彩的比赛吧！凭热爱，共传奇。
And welcome back. I apologize for the extended delays for the extended break, but we have returned with StarsWar 11 playoffs day number 2. We've returned with the grand finals. It's been a long broadcast here so far. It's been a long weekend of StarCraft. We have finally made it to the top 2. We have Maru and herO, our 2 finals. The best Terran, the best Protoss, looking to face off here as a rematch to the most recent season of GSL finals. Again, they face off in the finals of GSL, and now they're here in the finals of StarsWar 11. Now, it was a rocky road for herO, less so for Maru. To wind it back a little bit, as a reminder, Maru, he has yet to drop a single map the entire tournament. He had a clean sweep over Spirit and a clean sweep over Gumiho. But those were TVTs, now it's a TvP instead. On the flip side, we saw herO was struggling a little bit more. He likewise had his own mirror matchups. He went up against Firefly in a PvP, he went up against Skillus in a PvP as well. Went all the way to the ace match in those semifinals. It was a beautiful series. I highly recommend checking out the VODs. If you missed it, you missed out. Do check out those VODs, whether it's on here on Twitch or over on YouTube. I do recommend. Beautiful series as we are now getting ready for said finals, and this is going to be a hard one to call. I mean, I say a hard one, you know, Maru, he is our most recent GSL champion. You know, Maru did knock down herO the last time they faced, but if you remember in the winner's interview of the last series, herO did say that he was looking for his revenge, quote unquote, gonna kill Maru. Said, I kill you, is what I said, I kill you. Oh my god, calm down herO, calm down. Them were fighting words, papi. So herO does want his revenge, but this is a very special format, a very special finals, because it is a best of 9. Best of 9s are very rare in StarCraft, even in these big events like IEM Katowice, like GSL, like Home Story Cup, like Masters Coliseum, DreamHacks. Best of 9s are not really seen too often at all. So this could be impacted by that. The reasoning for this is because it's a best of 9, no vetoes. 0 vetoes are available, which means map picks and map orders are actually that much more important here, as you were able to embrace some of the more chaotic nature of maps like Dynasty, maps like Post-Youth as well, maps like Ghost River. So this series could be a lot more chaotic as a result, as we have a bit of a crowd shot here. As a reminder, everyone in the crowd has a wristband, or they have wristbands, and they can activate them to change color here to support their player. They have blue and red. Blue is Maru, red is herO, if I'm not mistaken, and the crowd was looking a little bit mixed there. We've seen a lot more like kind of dominant showings for who's like the crowd favorite, but I saw a lot of red, especially on the right hand side as well. So I'm curious with kind of what that kind of disparity looks like, and who has the crowd and who doesn't. We saw the chance for herO earlier. True, we did see the chance. Again, herO, he's always a crowd favorite. But likewise, there's always a lot of love for Maru as well. So it's going to be a great finals, I'm sure. I don't expect this to be one-sided in either direction. I don't expect this to be a 4-0, sorry, a 5-0. I have to get used to saying that in either direction. I expect it back and forth. I don't know if we're going to head to the ace match like we just did in the semis. I don't know if we're going to go that far, but I'm hoping for more of a series here between Maru and herO. To look forward to it. Catch him with the chat. Oh, Gilthas! Oh my god! Gilthas, papi. Hello, papi. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Hope you made it back home safe and sound. I haven't seen you in a while, papi. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Catching up in the chat. herO got a 5-0. Este Emperor Fu. Well, you're an animal, papi. You're an animal. Oh my god. But predictions will soon be open. Predictions will soon be open in the chat once we get our lobbies going, once we have our vetoes revealed, sorry, our map order revealed. Then the predictions will be open to the people in the chat. So be ready for that. Be ready. Seeing the chat, some people asking, where's Rainer? Rainer is casting. Rainer is casting over on, I believe, his own channel. He's casting with Patty Mac, by the way. For those who don't know, Patty Mac, of course, the ex-CranKy Duckling. I got a lot of love for Patty Mac. He's one of my boys, one of my many kids. Patty Mac did end up going to China for studies. He did go to China for studies, and I believe he's at the event itself. But, oh, here we go. We're going to be seeing our players and having some... A shout out to Rex, by the way. I barely... I should say StarsWar 7. Okay. It was StarsWar 7. That was the last time that StarCraft was a part of the event. Ever since then, it kind of, you know, bowed out and took a hiatus. But now it's back, and here we go. We have our map order. Okay. We have game number 1 on Golden Aura. We have game 2 on Side Delta, followed by Crimson Court, Dynasty, Oceanborn, Alcyone, Ghost River, Post Youth, and Amphion to end it all in that game 9 if we make it that far. Oh boy. Map orders briefly revealed, actually. Just for a second. Hold on, I need to... Hold on. I need to take a screenshot. Because I've already kind of forgot. Okay. So Golden Aura is going to be our first map. Interesting. It's really cool to see Dynasty that early on. So regardless of how this goes, Dynasty is going to be showcased in game number 4. Some of the more unorthodox maps were left until the end. So Ghost River is towards the end, Post Youth is towards the end, Amphion is towards the end. I like how a lot of those maps are usually vetoed and they're left until the very end of the series. It looks like clearly Maru and herO wanted to avoid them as much as possible as well. But here we go. It looks like we have our lobby set and we are loading into game 1 of the Grand Finals. You know what that means? Predictions. If you're in the Twitch chat, predictions are open. Place your bets, place your channel points on the line on who you believe is going to take it and become our StarsWar 11 champion. Will it be the Protoss or the Terran? Will it be Maru or herO? Best of luck in the chat. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player representing Team Vitality, the best Terran in the world. It is Maru. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon KZ Gaming, DKZ. It is herO. Arguably the best Protoss in the world. Here we go. So we're getting into our openers here. I have to kind of switch my mind a little bit because we've had so many mirror matchups over the course of this weekend. So many TvTs, so many PvPs, and now we can embrace the dynamic here of Terran and Protoss going up against each other instead. We do see Maru opening up with a Rax Expand, a more economic opener here out of Maru. Likewise, herO going for his own Gate Cyber setup as he sends his probe out on the map to get some scouting information to make sure everything's on the up and up. Again, proxies are not uncommon in this matchup either. Likewise with 2 base aggression, so very important here that herO gets a read on what the Terran is up to. Gateway's finishing up, Cybercore gets thrown down, so again, Gate, Cyber Expand out of herO. Interesting positioning here as herO does not wall off the Reaper cliff, but we can see that Maru is opening up a Marine, he is skipping that Reaper. This is a variation that Maru and Björn have been very fond of. We can see herO on the low ground going to be delaying the expansion for as long as he can. As a reminder, Maru opened up with only a single Gas Geyser, so he's going to be going for a delayed factory CC first. And the CC is going to be thrown down on the high ground. Okay, a much safer economic opener. It's still economic, you know, it still racks into expand, but with the CC being thrown down on the high ground, it does mean it's going to be a little bit longer for it to really get up and running, as we have to lift it and float it over to the natural base. But it does mean it's safer here. It does mean that if herO wanted to be a little bit aggressive with Adepts early on, or with a Zealot first, for example, then we could delay the CC, we could get a worker kill, maybe 2 worker kills. Things can get chaotic. Things can get very chaotic there, so Maru, he wants none of that. Playing safe. He's playing it out safe here. Meanwhile, herO going for a Stalker first, moving out, applying some pressure. As I mentioned before, because the command center's on the high ground, we should be safe and sound. Stalker shouldn't get much done. Oh, and we have our tech of choice. herO going for a Robo. Okay. So it's not a Twilight Council, it's not a Stargate, we have a Robo Opener instead. Now this can go a couple of different ways. herO should be prioritizing a Warp Prism first. That's going to be to harass across the map, to juggle units of course, and to even get Adepts into the main base by bypassing the initial wall. So there's a lot of potential with that initial Prism, and this can lead into a faster Robotics Bay, into faster Colossus production, which would shut down Bioaggression. Meanwhile, we do have the Hellion coming out. Does end up getting past the Stalkers. Second Stalker rocked up a little bit too late. So the Hellion does get by. Moving out across the map to get some scanning information. Stalkers poke in. Stim is not done, by the way. We do get one Marine. And good control at herO. He barely takes any hull damage. Hellion gets across the map. We have another Stalker in position. Can we deny the Scout? Oh, we can. Hellion is forced back. We get eyes on the expand. We do apply some pressure here, but we shouldn't get much done. We threaten the SCVs. And we do get another Marine. 2 Marines so far. Good pickoffs. I mean, very efficient trades here. We deny mining at the natural as well. Very nice control here with only 2 Stalkers. Meanwhile, Maru moving out. Oh, setting up from behind, trying to catch out these Stalkers. Very nice setup here out of Maru. Is forcing back the Stalkers. The Widowmines are set up. And Stalkers are going to be going down. Big connections. Both Stalkers fall. Very nicely done. Happy. Solid plays here from Maru. Meanwhile, the Observer has eyes on the drop. Ooh, herO coming in with the intercept. Does spot that medevac. Meanwhile, we spoke about the fast Colossus production. There it is. The bay is on the way for those Colossus. At the same time, herO does barely come across the drop. Maru notices. He does boost away. Gonna be boosting away. Widowmine does borrow, but we have detection. We have eyes on this, and the Widowmine is going to go down. We at least shut down one of the Widowmines, but the other is still a threat, is still in that medevac. But again, without fast Bay, it means fast Colossus production. It means that herO is going to be playing a more defensive style. The way this works is that herO is going to be turtling up back at home, building up his Colossus count until he hits critical mass, and then he's going to push out with a very strong timing. Meanwhile, Widowmine Joe comes in, herO with a late reaction. No! Oh my god. Calm down, herO. Does split in time, only losing 1 probe. Very nicely done. Give me a heart attack for a moment there. At the same time, Maru coming in with the Liberator. Unfortunately, not evenly timed. Would have been amazing to see both at the same time to try and distract herO. Liberator is now poised behind the main base, waiting for the opportune moment. Waiting for a distraction. Speaking of a distraction, here it comes. We have some Marines and a tank. A couple of boys being pulled to repair as well. Behind this, Maru, he's going to be throwing down additional Raxes. No third CC yet out of Maru, I believe. He's actually quite committed here on 2 bases. And remember, as he applies pressure to the third, we still have that Liberator threatening the main base as well. We do have the Stalkers rocking up. We do get a couple of Marines. Remember, there is no stim. But the tanks, they're getting ever closer towards the base. Liberator does get focused down. Good pick off there by herO. Speaking of, second Liberator, I guess the first Liberator is still threatening that main. Still hasn't gone in. Tanks are sieging. Big swipes on the Marines. Yeah, a lot of Marines do go down. The tanks are looking that much more exposed, but they are within range of the shield battery. Oof, which means no more overcharge once it goes down. The other tank getting within range. We have to dive in. Yeah, we go for the dive. Overcharge is going to be popped, but a lot of Stalkers get targeted. And Maru, he's breaking through. He's barely breaking through. Again, really good target firing on those Stalkers. Second Colossus soon to arrive, though. Yeah, the Colossus stands strong, and it looks like we take down the tanks. herO defends. herO cleans this up. I say that we still have 1 tank, but again, 1 tank against 2 Colossus is not going to happen, and Maru, he will evacuate. He does at least save a tank. And he did not go in with that lib. So herO does shut down the army. herO preserves all of his Colossus. At least Maru saves one of the tanks. Liberator comes in from behind. Late reaction at a herO. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3 probes. 4? 3. Pretty good. Good damage here from Maru. Got 3 workers backs off. We have a third CC now on the way for Maru, but it is a very late third CC, so he's going to be stuck on 2 bases a little bit longer. Again, it's just because of how committed Maru was with his aggression. That's why the third was delayed the way that it was, or as long as it was. As Liberator comes back in, it does focus on another 2 probes. It's what, 5 in total. Very nicely done. 4th base on the way for herO, while Maru still doesn't have a 3rd base. So economically, herO is getting out of hand. He's on 70 workers. He's up 20 workers compared to Maru. And herO now has his Colossus set up, now working towards Disruptors. Now, I believe he only has 2 Colossi. I'm not so certain about the third one. And his army is still a little bit bare bones. We're lacking a lot of gateway units. We're lacking the buffer that the Colossus do require. We need a little bit more time to get those warp-ins in. Okay, we do have a 3rd Colossus. Gateways are now up and running. Again, herO, he skipped warp-ins to afford this 4th base. And Maru, he's pushing out. Now, the Observer does spot the move out. The Observer was right outside the natural, so herO is fully aware. He's trying to slow down the army, engaging in the center of the map. Nice scouting Marine there from Maru. He does siege. Oh, Disruptor has to be careful. It is within range of the tank. Oh my god. As a new pull back in time. Maru once again pushing forward. This time with upgrades. This time with stim. They do push forward here. The Colossus once again trying to force the siege. Vikings have arrived. Nova goes off. Good splits out of Maru. The Nova does not connect. Overcharge is going to be popped. Oh, this feels a little bit premature, though. This feels a little bit early here, as the Overcharge is soon to run out, and the fight has yet to begin. Yeah, the Vikings going ham on the Colossus. Liberator coming in from behind as well. And herO is being pulled apart. Nova goes off. Gets a Marauder, but the base should fall. At the same time, at least the Colossus do stand strong. Vikings putting a lot of work, though. One Colossus does go down. Disruptors as well. We see herO trying to collapse, and this charge isn't done, by the way. And down goes the 2nd Colossus. We have 1 left. And herO, he's just being forced further and further back. 20 workers go down. And Maru, he can't be stopped. Again, the overcharge was a little bit too early there. We were not able to slow down the army enough. Charge finishes up, but is it too late? The Nova doesn't connect. Disruptor gets targeted down, and we are breaking through. Maru kills the 3rd. From here, he can rotate around to the 4th. He doesn't have to try to break the natural. He can. Does not have to. Headed towards that 3rd base. Well, then our new 3rd. Once again, good target firing. Gets the Disruptor. Gets a Colossus. Only gateway units do remain. There isn't that much bio, but there's no Zealots. Oh, good target firing on the Disruptor. Disruptor falls. Not a single good Nova here from herO. And Maru, he's snowballing out of control. There's no shield battery. There's no overcharge. herO dives in, but he barely has anything left. And Maru will take game number 1. GG gets called. Maru takes a lead in the series. Whew. GG. Again, a very aggressive game 1 here out of Maru. His initial push was defended nicely from herO, is what I will say. We did defend against the first push quite nicely. I don't think herO realized how greedy he was being. I mentioned at the time how herO, he was working on a 4th base. He was getting up to 70 workers. He was delaying warp-ins. Meanwhile, Maru didn't even have a 3rd. I mean, he had a 3rd on the way, but it was really late. He was hyper-fixated on his tank count, on his bio army, on his push, on 2 bases. And herO was being too greedy. He was just being a little bit too greedy there, didn't realize how aggressive Maru was going to be, which is why when Maru rocked up, herO just barely did not have enough to stop him, to slow him down. And on a map like Golden Aura, it's very unforgiving. Rush distance by ground, not too long at all. Things can pop off very, very quickly on Golden Aura. With that, Maru takes the lead, but it's a best of 9, papi. A lot of games ahead of us, a lot of games to come. herO can bounce back, and I'm sure he will, but is it going to be here in game 2? That is the question. Having a look here at the vetoes, sorry, at the map order. Game 2 is going to be on Site Delta. Site Delta, the rush distance by ground is longer, so it's a bit of a longer rush distance by ground. Has a much more defendable natural base. The 3rd is a little bit more wide open here, but you have more time to respond, to react, to slow down the army. I want to believe that we can have a more back and forth here in game number 2. What's important, though, is that, again, Maru has a lot of builds up his sleeves. He has a lot of openers up his sleeve as well. I'm sure we're going to be seeing something quite different from him. Likewise, winding it back, it was a robo opener out of herO. I'm sure we're going to be seeing something more aggressive from him at some point in the series as well. Blink. With Twilight Councils, with Blink, we can be more active. We can be the aggressor instead. We can contain Maru as well and make it more difficult for the Terran player, depending on the map, depending on the build, depending on the opener. So we've yet to really sink our teeth into the series. We're still kind of surface level here. We're kind of teasing each other out. Is that what I'm testing each other in a way? And we'll see how herO takes this and where he goes. Oh, hi, Bobby. Meanwhile, for Maru, again, just a really solid execution of his pushes. Even the first push as well was doing quite a lot. We had some really meticulous control out of Maru. More often than not, he was not wasting any shots on the Colossus, which was really smart. When it came to the first push, I'm sure we're going to be seeing some highlights of it. But the first Colossus was ideally trying to tank some of those tank shots, but Maru, he was so meticulous there, shutting down the Gateway army instead, getting as much value with this push I'm referring to. As we just skipped, never mind, we just skipped it. Never mind. We just skip all the way to the final fight. Again, Maru was able to snowball out of control in the end, punishing the greed of herO. What a way to start the series, to kick off with game 1. Kick things off. Now, something also to bear in mind as well is herO was saying earlier that he wasn't feeling too hot here tonight. He was talking about how he has to maybe kind of reset his mental a little bit coming into the finals. I mean, we did have an extended break, so he did have time to kind of like take a moment, take a breath. Yeah. I'm catching up with his mech replay, shaking my head. If Maru wins, I'll be able to buy him a virtual mansion with channel points. Oh my god. But here we go. We're getting ready for game number 2. Lobby is set. We are going to be diving in. Here we go. Last time they met on this map was in GSL Finals and herO 4-gated. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, I would not be opposed to a Twilight Council Blink-based opener. Would not be opposed. But here we go. We're diving into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have Maru for Team Vitality. And in the bottom right, we have his opponent. We have herO for Dragon Kai Z Gaming. KZ. Okay, and again, I think what's important, especially about that previous game, is that it wasn't necessarily a standard game here in game 1. So we've yet to really see too much from what our players have to offer. Have a lot more to reveal in this series, in this grand finals. For now, we should be seeing a... Oh, never mind. Okay, already kind of changing gears here. Maru is going for a double gas opener. As a reminder, in the previous game, Maru did go for a Rax into Command Center. It was a Rax expand from Maru. Here is going for something a little bit more aggressive or safer, depending on how you look at it. Double gas into a faster factory. Going for the faster factory. This can lead into Reaper Hellion aggression. This can lead into faster Cyclone production, or even just a Cyclone-based opener. Can lead into a faster 1-1-1. We'll see where Maru takes this. Or even into a Mind Drop. Mind Drops are out of favor, to be fair. They're very much so uncommon. We see them every now and then, but not as often as we used to in the last patch. The change to the Widowmine did kind of affect the favor that the Mind Drop build has amongst Terran players. They're not too fond of it anymore. Not too fond, as we do see herO just going for the Gate Cyber Expand, standard opener from herO. Walling off that Reaper Cliff. Speaking of, Maru's first Reaper has arrived. Just checking here at the natural and our third base locations, making sure that there's nothing crazy going on. There's no shenanigans. Ooh, and herO's going for a Stargate opener. We were talking about Blink play, whether it's 2-gate Blink, 3-gate, or even 4-gate Blink, but no, it's going to be a Stargate instead. Now, if this was any other player, I would assume it's going to be Phoenix's. I would assume a Phoenix-based opener. But herO does like mixing in Oracle play from time to time against Terran players, so he could opt to go for an Oracle instead to be a little bit more aggressive. Otherwise, we should be seeing Phoenix's for map control. Meanwhile, from the side of Maru, he went into that factory. With said factory, he's not going for Widow Mines, he's going for a safety Cyclone. So very safe setup here from Maru. With that Cyclone, we can defend against something like an Oracle or a Phoenix. We can have that much more anti-air. Maru has yet to scatter across the map. You can see that Reaper still just checking the third base locations. And we can see herO is indeed not going for the Oracle, he's going for the Phoenix. So Phoenix opener out of herO. And I'm curious if herO is going to be embracing the much more standard, the tried and true Phoenix Colossus. We have the option to go into a Twilight Council into Charge, true. Like, Phoenix Charge is not the most uncommon composition. But there's the Robo follow-up. Yeah, the first big sign here of the eventual Colossus. Phoenix moves out, we get a full scout of the main base. Ooh, Maru reveals Cloak. Cloak is shown here to herO. Now, Banshee-based play has been quite popular and quite trendy in this matchup over the past couple of months. So I like that he fakes that out. You can see that Cloak is cancelled. And Maru has no intention, as he does end up knocking himself over the wall as well. We get a full scout. Reaper confirming additional Phoenix production, but not much else. As we do shut down that Reaper. You can see observers on the way, just to be safe. And Maru does restart Cloak, I think just to sell the story here. I don't think he's going to be committing to it. Medevac, yeah, Medevacs are on the way. Yeah, we cancel Cloak once again. And we restart it. I love it. Meanwhile, there's the Bay. Again, it should be for the eventual Colossus production. Phoenixes are amassing, they're moving out. Readying the bases, and the Liberator is revealed. We did see it for a moment, picking off a good amount of SCVs and Marines. We don't lose a Phoenix. Good pick-offs by herO. Shaving off whatever he can. We have a safety Immortal on the way. And eventually Colossus is on the horizon. Before that does come out, we are going to be pulling the boys. Okay. Maru going to be committing here with his push. And what's scary is that we missed. Oh, we did miss it initially, but the Observer does get eyes on the main army. herO knows and is getting ready back at home. We're not going to have the Colossus ready for this, though. It just now starts. The Colossus just begins. The tanks are safe there in that medevac. We're pushing out across the map. We do have the shield battery, we do have the overcharge. Thankfully, we have a safety Immortal. We go for the tank. The tank does survive. Phoenix is a threat to come in from behind. Marines, they do rotate over, they do respond. Good positioning here out of Maru. He does protect those tanks. Big volley is going to be going off. Thankfully, we have more shield batteries on the way. We catch some of the reinforcements. The Phoenixes are doing well for themselves. They catch some Marines, they catch some of those Cyclones as well, but the Robo is under fire. The Robo is going to go down. Big pick-up. Thankfully for herO, he has the Colossus. And he still has an overcharge in the chamber. He still has yet to use it. Meanwhile, we can see Maru getting a third CC, so he just wants to contain his opponent and get ahead economically. Again, typically the Protoss player would be ahead in bases, but that's not going to be the case here. As the scout does confirm the command center. And herO needs to break out, but oh god, this container is brutal. We have 2 tanks, 2 bunkers, a Liberator as well. And Maru, he's making it up. We have, was that 2 more factories on the way? I think just 1. We're getting into additional factory production. No stim. More turrets on the way. Now, we did see mech yesterday. Again, we saw it between Gumiho and Showtime. As Phoenixes, they do bust into the main base. Yeah, that's the third factory that's in production, and we are camping the production, by the way. SCV is going down. The Cyclones, Vikings as well. We're wreaking havoc. These Phoenixes, they're getting a lot done. Again, here we're hoping to force Maru back home. As he gets 5 SCVs, and I say 5, 6, 7, 8 SCVs go down. We can see, I said Hurricane Thrusters. Hurricane Engines on the way. The new Cyclone upgrade. I mean, I say new name. New in name and icon. Ooh, as we end up bleeding out some of these Phoenixes. Maru is fighting back. Dark Shrine going to be on the way as well. The Invisible Man, let's go. And this is all well and good, don't get me wrong. herO, he's getting a lot done, but herO has yet to break out. And we have charge. Oh, the tank did unsiege for a moment. That was the opportune moment for herO. Breaks through the first line of bunkers, gets on top of the tanks as well. And herO is going to clean this up. Did bleed out some units here, but the Zealots, they clean up the ground army. The Liberator doing what they can, but the Phoenix will clean this up as well. And herO breaks free. Now, what's important to note here is that there's no third base, and it's so heavily delayed. herO, he's going to be committed on 2 bases. He's moving out, and he has a massive army. herO has a 40 army supply lead. Sure, Maru has a third, but he can't make use of it. It's not helping. Not in this defense. How many tanks do we have? He's been making Cyclones. Uh-oh. How many tanks do we have? Third base is on the way for herO. Again, this natural full of Cyclones more than anything, but herO doesn't take a chance. He doesn't push in. Going for the Ravens. Gets 1, gets 2. Big pickups. 2 Ravens go down, and most Phoenixes do manage to get away. Again, we're fully getting our tank up and our mech up and running here. With tank production, Blue Flame, Hellbats as well. And he will have a more efficient army, true, but he's stuck on 2 bases. Like, he can't expand. The problem right now, especially with herO's army lead, is that if Maru tries to move out to take a 3rd base, herO can punish him. He can just collapse on the army, deny the 3rd. And herO's double expanding. I love this. A great way to catch back up. As herO's been contained to 2 bases for far too long. Double expand. Our upgrades are getting back up and running as well. Finally, Maru moves out. He's got 2 tanks. Sorry, 3 tanks. herO does spot the move out, and you can see his army. You can see, as soon as he sees the move out, as soon as he sees the 3rd base, he's going for it. But herO is going to be a little bit late to the party here. Turrets are on the way. SimCity as well. Maru's so quick to set up. And herO wasn't quite in position. It looks like he was maybe expecting a drop or some kind of counterattack. But he wasn't here in time. The turrets are done. We're still pushing in. We lift up one of the tanks. A lot of these Phoenixes are going to be going down, but we dive on the tanks and they're going to be going down one after the other. There's 2 tanks left. And the Colossus, they reign supreme here. Oh, I say that. We're running out of Zealots, though. Again, we need those Zealots. We need that support. We at least deny the 3rd. We get 10 SCV kills. We deny the 3rd base. The Colossus did live. It did cost us all the Zealots. It did cost us all the Phoenixes as well. We're down to 1 Phoenix. And still a very tense game. Here, he wants to deny that 3rd base a 2nd time if he can. He's reinforcing with that Prism. And Maru, he has the 3rd. Now, what's important here, because Maru's playing mech, and now that he's on 3 bases, even though he's had a hard time getting here, he can turtle. He can and will. We know we've got more turrets on the way, and more depots as well. He's going to be walling up, getting up to 3 bases, getting up to 4 bases. And it's going to be hard to kill him anytime soon. I say that, Maru, he unsieges. He's moving out with everything he has, and he's spotted. He's spotted by the Dark Templar. Boys are being pulled. There are 4 tanks with this army. Oh, Zealot Runby is going to be punishing that 3rd base, but Maru's committed. Show us an over. Never goes off. When it does connect, big connection on those tanks. Prism does go down, bit of miscontrol out of herO. DT doing what he can here in the back line. Tanks are going to be a bit late to siege. It looks like herO, he should be able to collapse on this. Yeah, there's also a dive on the tanks. We close the distance. GG gets called. Maru gets completely shut down, and herO ties things up 1-1. Whew. GG. Bappy. GG, well played. We have a back and forth here again. Maru, it was an interesting choice. We were talking about how, or at least I was talking about how, Maru had an option there to try to catch back up. I guess the reality here is that because herO double expanded and took his third and his fourth base at the same time, it would be a rough road to travel there for Maru to take a slow approach and to try to just turtle up, defend, and take a fourth base. Instead, he essentially went for an all-in. He went for an all-in, especially with the Zealot harass that was happening across the map as he was bleeding out SCVs. He was very committed, and in the end, herO was able to get eyes on him, was able to slow him down, and able to collapse on that army. GG, very well played. herO ties it up. And that's all that I wanted. We have a back and forth, Papi. It is not going to be a one-sided series. We are going to have more of a back and forth here. And now we're tied up 1-1. Who's going to take a lead in this series? Who will gain that momentum? Oh. Catching up. Mecha's instant GG versus instant GG. It literally never works versus Toss. It sounds like you're outing yourself as someone that didn't watch StarCraft yesterday. Oswevo in the chat. Oh my god. Sounds like you need to watch Gumiho versus Showtime in this very tournament, because Gumiho did whip out the mech and it did actually work. Did work yesterday, and again, we have seen Maru make it work as well. It is uncommon though. It is uncommon. It is difficult to make work. We can all agree on that. It is difficult, and it's definitely more of an unorthodox playstyle. Catching up. Catching up, bad. GG. GG, well played. And again, if we ever do see mech again, I imagine it's going to be very specialized, very map dependent as well. I'm talking about some of these larger maps. I'm talking about maps like Post Youth, for example, maps like Alkione as well, or even Side Delta, which we just saw. And that's typically the trend when it comes to mech versus Protoss. But now we're going to be entering some of these more smaller maps here. Let me just quickly double check. What is our next map of choice? It's going to be Crimson Court. This is going to be an interesting one. I do look forward to seeing how our players expand and which bases our players take as well. We spoke about this previously, but we do have a much more fortified and much more defendable linear third base, which we can take. Likewise, you can take the forward base to go for more aggressive of an all-in with that rich missing gas geyser. We'll see where our players do take us as we go over some of these highlights, some of these replays. Again, this fight from herO felt a little bit awkward because when he went for the mass lift, he actually missed some of the tanks. I think he lifted 1 out of the 4 tanks that were there. It was like 3 or 4 tanks, and he only got 1 of them. So that was an interesting trade there, and then this was the final fight here. Brilliant Nova to kick things off. The Prism did overextend, but we eventually collapsed on the army. Ooh, it looks like winding it back before we even entered mech, right? It's like Maru was in a really prime position with his push, with his contain. Remember, he was containing herO. herO was stuck on 2 bases, but herO was able to snowball out of control himself, or I should say, claw his way back into it with this Phoenix harass. It's a bit of a shame that that wasn't shown in the highlights, but if you remember, herO, he was camping the production, he was able to confirm the mech, he killed like 7, 8, 9 SCVs, he caught the Ravens as well. Like, there was some really nice moves out of herO with his Phoenixes, with what he was getting. But we're now getting into our next game. Game number 3 to determine who takes a lead here in the grand finals. Will it be our Terran or our Protoss? Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Core, we have our South Korean Terran player Maru for Team Vitality. And in the top right, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss for Dragon Kai Z Gaming. It is herO. Here we go. Whew. Okay, now we've already seen a couple of different tech options from herO. Game 1 was a Robo opener. Game number 2 was a Stargate opener. Here in Game 3, what do we have to work with? On a larger map like Crimson Court, I can see the logic behind something like another Stargate opener, as the probe is being as annoying as possible, harassing the initial SCVs, being a nuisance here. But I'm curious if we see another Stargate opener, or if we embrace something more aggressive, like a Twilight Council Blink-based opener instead. I am curious. Meanwhile, we only have a single gas geyser, so Maru is going for an economic opener. He's going for a Rax Expand. This time he's not going for a faster factory, which is what we saw in the previous game. So more economic here from Maru. Going to be easing our way here into Game 3. And we'll see if we go for the command center on the high ground or on the low ground. I mean, based on our SimCity and on our setup, I imagine it's going to be on the high ground. We have the Marine first. Of course, Maru did not SCV scout, and Maru skips his Reaper, so there's no scouting whatsoever from Maru. If herO were to go for something crazy, a more aggressive build, then Maru would not know until his Hellion popped. And there's that CC on the high ground, just to be safe, just to be secure. Very reminiscent of Game 1. Very reminiscent. So it's a safer variation of an economic opener, with the command center on the high ground. Meanwhile, herO going to be opening up Adept. That does mean that he's going to be able to shade across the map that much faster to apply some pressure. Factory on the way in the main. We're not set up for an add-on swap, I don't believe. Ooh, and there it is. We have the answer to our question. Our tech of choice, once again, Stargate. Now, we could be going for another Phoenix opener, or we could go for that Oracle that we mentioned before. Not unheard of for herO to open up Oracle instead, to be a little bit more aggressive, especially to coincide with these initial Adepts. Could try to be a little bit more aggressive in the face of Maru. Meanwhile, Maru throws down another Rax. Okay, so specifically what Maru is doing here is that he is delaying his starport. His starport is heavily delayed. I would not be surprised if we throw down a third Rax before the starport as well. And the way this build works is that it's designed to build up a hefty bio army, work towards a stim timing, and hit a very, very strong stim timing as well, with eventually Medivacs. This could even lead into an all-in. If this was Gumiho, I'd be like, yo, this could just be a 2-base all-in. If we do end up skipping the starport and pulling the boys. But I don't imagine that's going to happen. Meanwhile, herO is going for the Oracle, not the Phoenix. Let's go. It's going to be Oracle first here out of herO. It makes sense to coincide with his Adepts, so we're going to try and harass and try to pull Maru apart. Ooh, okay. Oracle into Twilight Council. This is typically charge, but we could still go into Blink. Again, because we don't have any Phoenixes, we have no way to shut down drop play. That's why we could work towards Blink Stalkers here, but again, because it's going to be so delayed, it might just not be worth it. And there's that third Rax, by the way, that we mentioned. Third Rax on that production tab, so big delay on the starport. Stim is on the way. We spoke about it. That's going to be a big Stim timing here for Maru. Stim and +1. So a very aggressive build from our Terran player. Oracle dips in. Oracle gets eyes on the eBay. Gets eyes on the Rax as well. Is going to be zoned away by the Cyclone, and the Oracle doesn't get much damage done, but does scout a lot of the build. herO's working towards his third, going for a safe linear third base location. Blink is on the way, not charge. Now, what's scary is that because this was a Stargate opener, that means that herO won't have Stalkers to slow down the push. He won't have Stalkers out on the map to kite and blink back and chip away at the army. So that's going to be a big downside here for herO, just because Blink is so late. Oracle dips in, will survive, and does get, I believe, one more SCV. And we should have gotten a full scout. Stalkers are warping in. Now, Maru did make a starport. He should be working towards his Medivacs. I believe I saw a starport. I could be blind. Could be. Yeah, there it is. Medivacs are on the way. And we are soon going to be pushing. Get a very bio-heavy composition. Oracle dipping in once again. Very important here that herO scouts the army and, more importantly, scouts the move out. He needs to know when Maru moves out. And he does likewise move out with his Stalkers. Blink is about to finish, so he will have a presence on the map to slow down the army. Speaking of, here comes that push. We get the revelation. Do get the revelation. You can see herO trying to blink into the main base, trying to slow down the army itself of Maru. Does get in. And does force Maru all the way back into the main. But it's going to cost him some Stalkers. Oh, it's going to cost him all 4 of these Stalkers. This is an expensive loss here, and we don't get anything. Sure, we slow down the push, but that's that much less that we have to defend. Uh-oh. And here comes Maru. And he's pulling the boys. It is going to be the 2-base all-in variation. It's all or nothing here for Maru. He smells blood in the water, and herO, what do we have to defend? We have a shield battery, we have an overcharge. Cannons and shield batteries on the way in the main. He doesn't know where the army's coming, where the push is dropping. And now he sees. And can he hold? There you go, Maru pulling the boys. Overcharge is going to pop. Decent force field. Slows down the push. But doesn't catch too much. The gateways are exposed. Gateway's going to be going down. That is going to impact how much we have to work with. There's going to be that many less warp ins. The first gateway falls. So will the second. We do preserve the SCVs as well. We depower the shield battery. Bust into the natural. Boys, they have to be pulled as well. I don't think we have enough. The numbers in favor of Maru. Snowballing out of control. He breaks the natural. And herO just doesn't have the army to stop this. He falls back to his main. He's got a cannon. He's got a shield battery. But Overcharge is still on cooldown. And Maru, he still has so much to work with. Yeah, Stim's on forward. Boys being pulled. But the choke point is brutal here working against herO. Even the Oracle comes back to help out. But it's not going to be enough. Oh, I say that. Decent blinks here from herO. He's cleaning up most of these Marines. Again, Maru, he's running out of units. He's running out of energy on these Medivacs as well. We have the overcharge. The second overcharge kicks in. We hold on to the main. But Maru, he's still up heavily here in supply. It was a good effort here by herO. More boys being pulled. We dodged the mine. We dodged the widow mine, but the reinforcements come in. Yeah, and herO, he barely has anything left. He's down to 1 base economy. Down to 4 units, 2 Stalkers, 2 Zealots. That's all he has left. The overcharge did run out. And Maru will take a lead in this series. Is looking to take game 3 as he takes down the final Stalker. GG gets called and Maru takes game 3. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very aggressive build out of Maru. We saw the initial Raxes. To be fair, herO also saw them. But as we mentioned, if you throw down the starport, usually that means that we're not going to be pulling the boys. So when we saw the starport, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's just pushing and then he's going to throw down a 3rd base. No, we pull the boys, baby. It was a 2-base all-in nonetheless. herO did slow down the push with his Stalkers, but we saw it was a very expensive kind of it was a very expensive way to do it, and he didn't really slow it down by too much. It just wasn't worth it there for herO throwing away those Stalkers. On top of that, the Stalkers, they slowed down the push, but I believe herO didn't see the SCVs. He didn't see the SCVs until they were already in his face. Wasn't able to quite get eyes on that, and alas, in the end, herO was not able to hold on to his natural. GG, well played. Maru is now up 2-1. But it's the best of 9, Papi. We still have plenty more games to come, and I want to believe that we can just keep trading. Just keep going back and forth. Take us to the ace match, Papi. That's all I want. We'll see if we can get there. We shall see. Oh. herO probably should have thrown his probes in his natural to help defend. Yes, I do agree with that. I do agree that we, especially because herO was ahead in probes, because he had a 3rd base, right? He could afford to lose workers, and definitely could have been a lot faster to have that kind of reaction. But at the same time, I don't know if that would have helped too much. I think a big factor here, because he didn't see the boys being pulled, as this is quite deep in the game where we saw the Stalkers going down. Because we didn't see that, we saw that herO was setting up site defense in his main base. Imagine if we had the cannon and the shield battery here at the natural instead. Again, because herO was getting ready for drop play, not ready for an all-in, he was splitting up his site defense elsewhere, and as a result, like, potentially we could have seen a stronger defense at the natural instead, if he had realized just how committed Maru was, right? We've seen plenty of times against this to see like 2-3 shield batteries at the natural, more stacked defense, just because you do have limited units available to you. So again, seeing herO throw down the stack defense in his main base shows us that, again, he wasn't aware that it was going to be that committed, that it was going to be anything but a drop. Clown it up. We're about to clown it up here. Dynasty is going to be coming up next. Again, there are no vetoes. Dynasty is going to be an interesting one. Dynasty, of course, has a pocket gold base, and it is difficult to take advantage of. Now, I'm curious if Maru is going to play like Xi'an. Xi'an is one of the few Terran players that embraces Dynasty whenever he can, and what Xi'an does is he goes double gas, he rushes into a fast tank. Well, actually, I think he goes Rex Expand into a fast tank. And he does get that tank situated at his natural, and you can actually cover your mineral line and protect your mineral line with your tank in that position to actually take advantage of the gold base. Xi'an does that very often. Xi'an is also really good friends with Maru. I'm curious if Maru has the same plan here, if he does plan on taking that gold base as quickly as possible and defending it. Or not. We'll see. We'll see if he has another build in store. Likewise, I'm curious how herO is going to make use of the gold as well, if he even takes it. If he even can take it. Catching up, man. Catching up. Here we go. The grand finals, they do continue. Maru has a lead, but we're still in the early games here of the series. This could still go either way. Could still swing either direction. We're getting ready for game 4. And here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Dynasty, we have, for Team Vitality, Maru. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have, for CranKy Z Gaming, it is herO. Okay, again, my eyes are definitely on Maru here when it comes to his opener of choice, when it comes to his build. I'm curious if he's going to take a risk and try and take advantage of that pocket gold. I spoke earlier about how Xi'an approaches Dynasty. I'm curious if Maru does the same. So now we're getting into our setups. Should be a gate cyber expand here from herO. Again, I imagine herO is going to be avoiding the gold, as it goes both ways. The gold base can be punished quite hard by both the Terran and the Protoss player. Whether it's Reaper, Hellion Harass, Cyclone, drop play as well. Can deny mining there. herO setting up his cyber core on the low ground. This is to wall off the Reaper cliff. Cyber core is thrown down, and herO, he's taking the gold. Okay, let's go. herO's taking the gold base. At the same time, Maru's going for a racked expand, and he is also looking to take that gold as well. Gold versus gold. Who's going to get away with it, and who is going to be punished for it? I would not be opposed to a Twilight Council build here. Actually, I would love to see 4-gate blink from herO. I mean, we don't have a lot of blink locations, though, to be fair. I mean, obviously, the gold base is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. True. We'll see. We shall see, as Reaper's going to be moving out across the map. Factories on the way behind this for Maru. Is on the way behind this. We can see Maru rocking up at that gold. We'll get eyes on the Nexus. Is now aware of what's going on. Maru is going to rotate around. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Zergburger 007. Oh my god, Papi. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 3 months. Thank you so much, Papi. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Gracias, Papi. Gracias. Thank you so much. Less than 3. Less than 3. As we're settling into our game, and we have our take of choice from herO. I was thinking a Twilight Council, but no, it's going to be a Robo Opener instead. That is interesting. That is going to be interesting here as the Reaper has arrived. Going to be disrupting the mining with a KDA charge. Stalker should shoot this away. Now, once again, with a Robo Opener, we can be a little bit aggressive with a Warp Prism, but more often than not, this leads into a faster Bay, into faster Colossus production. That would be a really nice way to deal with a bio-heavy composition. Would be a nice way to deal with that. For now, we're going to be reinforcing with additional Hellions. The Tech Lab is not thrown down on the factory, not yet. We're going for a fast stim. I'm getting deja vu of the last game, by the way. How many? We're on 2 Raxes. There's a third. Same build. As a heads up, if you were here for the last game, same build. It's going to be a 3-1-1 setup. We have 3 Raxes on the way. There's the eBay as well. Sim is already being researched. This is the exact same build so far as the previous game. Just like the last game, though, I should emphasize that this doesn't have to be a 2-base all-in. You don't have to pull the boys with this. You can still take a 3rd base as you push, or you could just pull the boys, which is what we saw in the last game. Meanwhile, Hellions, they do rock up here at the National. They line up! Oh, the probes do line up. 4 workers go down. We do clean up the Hellions, but they did quite well for themselves. At the same time, here comes that Prism. We're going to be disrupting some of the mining here at the Natural. We do get 1 SCV, and we do deny mining here, but here comes that tank. We spoke about it. The tank is going to be able to protect the mineral line. Will show away those Stalkers. But that tank count is getting higher and higher. Gateways are on the way. Twilight Council in production as well. Okay, so we're not rushing into fast Colossus. We spoke about how this could be for a fast Bay. That is not the case. We're rushing into charge. Ooh, okay. Charge. I think that's going to be a better way to deal with this kind of army, with this kind of move out. We see herO warping in. Trading as best he can, shaving off some of those Marines, but big tank shots go up. Oh, we get a Stalker. Stalker does go down. At the same time, we threaten a drop here at the Natural with the Immortal, and we go for the tank, and we do manage to get it. Big pick off. Very nicely done. herO snipes the tank. Starport is now on the way. Now, from the side of Maru, losing a tank is huge. Like, when it comes to going for a 2-base all in, your tanks, they are the backbone of your army. They're so crucial here to a 2-base all in. So we might end up deviating away from that. As that is a 4th Rax on the way. Getting the 4th Rax, we do pick off a depot. That is going to be supply blocking Maru, going for the 2nd depot as well. Oh, making the supply block even greater. Really nice pickups here from herO, reinforcing on the front lines. Adepts, they do shade past the army into that natural base. Trading with the Marines. They don't quite get too much economic damage done, but we dive off the ramp. And the tank is going to be targeted down. There was only 1 tank left, and now 0 tanks remain. And without any tanks, here he can snowball out of control. Good juggling here. He saves the Immortal. Big warp in into the main base as well. And the Bio Army is standing strong, but what about the SCVs? What about the workers? 18 workers go down. 2 more. Now we get a 2nd Immortal as well. And it's becoming too much. herO, can he break through? Oh, the Immortal goes down. Bit of miscontrol out of herO. Does lose an Immortal, but he still has enough as he camps the production. Again, going for the add-ons. That is a good chunk of Marines, but 30 SCVs have gone down. We force field the army. We lock them in. Oh, the mine shot is dodged here once again. Beautiful control here from herO. And we're just pulling what little SCVs we have left to try to force this out. But we get another weapon of Zealots. Again, herO, he counters the 2-base play with his own 2-base all-in. And we're running out of Marines. Once again, the boys being pulled. It looks like herO, he's going to be forced out of the main base, but the damage has been done. 42 SCVs go down. We save the Prism. We save the Immortal. And herO, he can just back off and just keep going for more warp-ins. He can just keep on pushing. He's still onto Immortals. Yeah, without SimCity, without workers, Maru, he cannot take the fight. As herO, he busts forward once again. And Maru, he's down to 10 SCVs. He barely has an economy, and we are bouncing back. GG gets called. herO ties up the series 2-2. We have a series, Bobby. Let's go. GG, well played. We do have a back and forth here, going blow for blow, as herO is able to find an answer to this build of Maru. I mean, I say to this build, it was very reminiscent to the previous game that we just saw. Maru, he was just building up on 2 bases, getting a mass amount of Raxes first, looking to go for a stronger stim timing. But herO was the first to break through instead. I should emphasize the lead up to that though. For herO to snipe the initial tank was massive. Like, it was so important there, so crucial that he was able to pick away at those tanks ahead of time before the major engagement. Likewise, able to apply some pressure and gain map control and take advantage of his own goal base as well. GG, well played. Whew. herO does tie us up 2-2. And is the ace match dream going to become a reality? I mean, we're still early on. That's the crazy thing. Like, we're tied up 2-2. We still have so many more games ahead of us, but this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted here. No one-sided series, no 5-0. No. Back and forth. Let's go. Well, Melbourne graded Sydney. I mean, Sydney has the ESL studio, so I mean, I guess that works here. But here we go. We're getting ready for our next game. For game number 5, it's going to be on Oceanborn. Let's go. Oceanborn coming up next here. Not as extravagant or dynamic as, you know, a map like Dynasty, but aggression can still be favored on this map. The third base is that much more vulnerable here on Oceanborn, so that can be a point of contention. But we'll see. Once again, we're here to find out who takes a lead in this series. We're tied up right now, but this game will give one of our 2 players here momentum. I'm ready, Bob. I'm ready. But here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have Maru for Team Vitality. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have herO for Dragon Kaizi Gaming. Does claw his way back into this, does tie up the series. But if trends mean anything, it should mean that it's Maru's turn to win, right? Should it? Is that how it goes? We're just going to go back and forth all day? I'd be okay with that. But we'll see. Once again, it was really cool to see herO kind of flex the different opener last game to go for a Robo opener into Immortal, or into Prism into Immortal, into Charge over anything, into a 2-base all-in. Was able to break Maru in the end, as he was going for his own aggressive style. This time we do see Maru going for a double gas opener, going for a delayed expansion into a faster factory. Okay. So a more aggressive start here from Maru. With a double gas opener, we can go Reaper Hellion, we can go for faster Widow Mines, we can go for faster Cyclones. See how Maru brings this all together. As herO comes in and he confirms. He does confirm the opener. The probe has to get the hell out. We'll back off. Do have our SimCity back at home for herO, just going to be walling off the Reaper Cliff. Speaking of, Reapers are on the way. herO does confirm the factory follow-up. And we'll see what kind of tech we have to work with. Now, I'm not too fond of Stargate play on this map. I mean, especially because of how aggressive you can be once it comes to taking a third base here. But we'll see if we do embrace Stargate Phoenix once again. We have yet to really see any Blink play, by the way. Like, no Twilight Council Blink-based openers so far in this series, which is a little bit surprising. Oh, but this could be it. There we go. Twilight Council has been thrown down. We do have our Twilight Council opener. This should be for Blink from the side of herO. And the question now becomes, how many gateways? Is this going to be 2-gate Blink into a third, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink? I mean, to be fair, we did see Blink on Crimson Court, but it wasn't a Twilight Council opener, if you remember. It was Stargate into Oracle into delayed Blink instead. So the first time we're seeing just straight up Blink Stalkers. First time so far. There it is, Blink is on the way. Second gateway has been thrown down. We'll see if we throw down additional gateways. Meanwhile, from the side of Maru, we spoke about how, or what kind of potential that factory does give us, and we're going for Widow Mines. Let's go. We're setting up for a Widow Mine drop variation. The Reaper dips into the main base, gets shut down, but I believe the Reaper did get eyes on the Twilight Council at least. So Maru does get that information. Here it comes, the medevac, setting up for our drop. If we do drop, we actually didn't invest too hard into Widow Mines. I think we only have one, maybe two. We could always drop with Marines in conjunction with the Widow Mines. Can get a lot done. As it looks like we're sticking with 2 gateways. So it looks like 2 gates into a third. So a bit of a more economic build here from herO. Yeah, Widow Mine's pulling back. It's just the 1 mine. So very light aggression here from Maru. With 1 Widow Mine, really this is all designed to scout. Like Maru, his goal here is to count how many gateways there are, whether or not herO is being aggressive, or if he's taking a third. So Maru just coming in for some scouting information, ideally. So we do boost in. herO does blink on top of the medevac. Medevac goes down! And the mine shot is going to be going off. Only on the 1 probe. Good defense here by herO. Does shut it down. And now herO can be active on the map. Likewise, Maru also going to be moving out with his biotank, as herO is expanding and taking his third. Good catch here from Maru. Let's get some free shots off on the Adept. Liberator production on the way. Maru, he is up to 2 tanks at this point. I'm curious how committed he's going to be, as he is pulling some of the boys. Only some. Just to repair, just to maintain. We can see herO already engaging, going to be chipping away at those Marines. Good blink so far. Doesn't bleed out any Stalkers. And herO, he pivots around, he rotates back in, and once again, tries to pick off some more Marines, but the Liberator comes into the natural. And probes are going down. Not much at home to defend at all. We get 4 probe kills, and Maru, he's still pushing towards that third base. And he catches 2 Stalkers. Yeah, big pick off. Even a bit of miscontrol there out of herO. Does end up spending a blink. Mule gets thrown down. We do get a volley off on the tank, but the tank does live. But we survive. We scan. We see the Immortal, and Maru, he wants none of it. See, he's like, nope, I'm good. Will retreat, but honestly, good trades. Like, he caught a lot of Stalkers, and he does retain his tanks. Like, really mature decision here out of Maru, recognizing that he bled out too many Marines, that he doesn't have enough support for his tanks, and he doesn't want to throw them away. So he will back off. Meanwhile, the previous Liberator got 4 probe kills, and the Liberator is still alive. Meanwhile, a second Lib arrives here at the natural, and we're getting even more damage done. This is getting a bit out of hand. That's been 8 worker kills so far. Meanwhile, herO, he's had enough. He's going for his own counterattack. Gets a tech lab. Gets 2. 2 tech labs going to be going down. It's going to be delaying combat shields. Delaying additional Raven production. We'll get forced out. Meanwhile, Maru, he does have a third base. Hasn't been landed yet, but it's being morphed into an orbital. On the Lib. The Lib! Oh, it is going to be caught out. Good catch from herO. Does catch the Liberator. I believe there's another one. Yep, there's another one still back in the main. Observer is going to be sniped, and Maru should be eventually be able to expand. Once he gets stim. Once stim is reached, then we can break out. Until then, the tank's slowly pushing forward. Shot does go off. herO expanding towards his opponent. Okay. Taking the forward 4th. Bold move. It is here on the low ground. It is right next to high ground as well. So it's quite exposed. Bold move here from herO. We'll see if he can hold on to it. Warp Prism poised to go into the main. Turrets are about to finish up. And Stim is about to finish in a couple of seconds. Maru, he can finally break out. He can finally expand and take a third. At the same time, the War Prism will pull back. Does get eyes on all those turrets. Does rotate around. See Maru a little bit paranoid, making sure he doesn't get blindsided. It's going to be a big warping of Zealots. I believe charge is done. And Zealots are coming from behind. The new collapse in the army. Mine shot's going to be going off. Oh, big tank volleys on those Zealots. And can herO break through? Waiting for more reinforcements. Waiting for another warp in. Tank is on siege for a moment there, but Maru does hold. He's chasing this back. Big anti-armor missile as well. herO, he's going to have to back off. It does retreat. Behind this herO, he's working on splash damage. As long as he doesn't lose too much here, he should be able to make it back home. I say that, running into the army. And Maru, he wants to push. The prism is exposed. And it is barely going to unsiege. herO diving on the army. Big mine shots going off. The tanks are going down, but what about the bio? We stim on forward. We focus down the Immortals. We focus down the Stalkers. This was an expensive loss here for herO. This was not the fight to take. Ay, ay, ay. Sure, he has a Colossus, but what does he have to protect it? herO plummets in supply, and Maru, he's snowballing out of control. He's pushing across the map, and again, sure, we have Colossus, but we only have 3 Stalkers, a handful of Zealots. We have a shield battery, we have an overcharge, but the boys have been pulled. Maru, he smells blood in the water. He's going for the kill. He knows, Papi. He knows. Pushing forward with everything he has. Mines barring on top of that Colossus. Mine shot's going to be going off. Shield battery is depowered. We are bleeding out a lot of Marines, though. The Colossus is going to fall, but yeah, herO, he lost control of the 4th base. He has one more Colossus coming in. And Maru should have enough to break him. Again, herO just being a little bit too greedy, being over-eager out of the map. He got caught out, he got shut down before he could join forces with his Colossus. Zealot run-by comes in, but we have reinforcements back at home. And Maru, he will shut this down. Now, when it comes to herO's economy, it's okay, but he doesn't have an army. He needs time for warp-ins. He needs more time right now, and Maru, he's not giving him that time. Maru scans, he sees the new 4th. herO coming with some Stalkers, doesn't get the medevac. He's going to rotate around once again. Maru just building up his death ball of an army before pushing in. Zealot run-by does hit the 3rd base once again. Gonna distract some of the production, but we have enough. Maru barely loses anything. And he's gonna be denying this 4th base once again. That's gonna be a cancel. Just containing herO, starving him out. Diving on the Colossus. Big anti-armor missile as well. Mine shots going off. We barely have any Zealots left. And we can focus on these units one after the other. The Immortal goes down. And I mean, herO, he's been fighting his heart out. He's been trying to hold on for as long as he can, but there's only so much he can do. Does have a second Colossus, though. God, if only there weren't so many Marauders. Colossus goes down. Prism as well. And Maru, he finally breaks the back here of herO. No more robo units. Only a handful of Stalkers and Zealots. And even then, the Zealot warping gets denied. The 3rd base has been broken. We're getting on top of the production. We're getting on top of the robo. We have a couple of seconds until the Colossus comes out. But GG gets called. And Maru takes game number 5. GG, well played. I mean, we had a pretty dynamic back and forth here. Initially, herO, it was an impressive defense where he was able to force back the army. He was able to catch some of the tanks. Wasn't quite able to bring them down. But yeah, again, herO did feel like he was just a little bit too overeager, a little bit too confident with his move outs. If you remember when he was being active outside the third base with his stalkers, with his immortals, he was kind of flirting with death there. And at a certain point, even herO realized he had to retreat. And that was the moment he was trying to retreat through the center, but he ran into the army, pushing up a ramp, and then it was kind of forced into a fight that he didn't want to take. It might have been wiser for herO to earlier have just retreated and recalled instead of just walking back home. As he was trying to make his way back home via the grounds, like, he was caught out. GG, well played. With herO losing that army, that was essentially game then and there. Like, sure, he had Colossus back at home and he had shield batteries, but again, he just barely had a standing army, and GG. Maru does take it. Maru does take a lead in the series. And that means it's herO's turn to win. That means that means as we've just been trading back and forth here between Maru and herO time and time again. A big shout out to Zergburger 007. Thank you so much for the gifted subs in the chat. Oh my god, Papi, thank you so much. Gracias, Papi, gracias. Thank you so much for the subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it here on the CranKy Ducklings. I hope everyone enjoys the gifted subs. I see Pikachu got one, Edo War, Resent TV, Poorly Drawn, and Debbie291. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Do appreciate it. Let's go, like, awesome games. Thanks for the class. Oh, thank you, Ponyo. Thank you. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Este pegoeta. Calm down. GG, well played. I have to keep looking at the bracket here for the map order, and we just wrapped up with Oceanborn. Up next, game number 6 is going to be on Alcyone. Interesting. Okay, one of the larger maps in the map pool, much more macro-oriented. Now, what's important about this series so far is it's been very aggressive. Very aggressive. Like, sure, we've gotten up to 3 bases, especially in this last game. We got up to 3 base saturation, but we've had just these very aggressive games, very aggressive kind of onsets here from both Maru and herO. They've been very in each other's face. We haven't really been able to settle down into more of a back and forth mid game and even think about a late game. Just hasn't happened at all yet. We'll see if we can get there. We shall see. Again, if we're going to see that, Alcyone would not be a bad map for it. Not be bad for it. I see the chat. Fine, it's 3 p.m. beer o'clock. Aye, aye, aye. You're in Hannibal, Papi. You're in Hannibal. Hope you're all enjoying your weekends. I'm celoso. I'm jealous. Here it's 11 p.m. at night. We're reaching midnight. It's almost... The weekend's almost over for us here in Australia. Almost over. Yeah. But it's been a great weekend. It's been a great weekend so far. Enjoying StarsWar 11. Of course, tomorrow we have ESL Open Cup Asia. The ESL Open Cups. Of course, we have the Club NV Showdowns as well on Tuesday. We have Kung Fu Cup returning. We have WTL returning. All in the lead up to eventually DreamHack Dallas. But here we're still focusing on our current finals here on StarsWar 11. Just some key moments. This was the brutal fight that herO had to take. He was forced into it, and this was, yeah, the game-winning move for Maru. Just collapsing on this army, cleaning up the Zealots, the Immortals, the Stalkers. All did go in favor of Maru. Again, herO, he didn't want to fight. He wanted to come back home. He was trying to make it back home, but he was caught out in the end. That was the beginning of the end. And Maru was in the driver's seat from that moment forward. That moment on. herO was holding on, he was surviving, but he wasn't really living. Wasn't really living there, and eventually it did lead into this final push. But, again, this has been a very back and forth series so far, and I want to believe that herO can bring it back in the next game. I want to believe that we can force and continue to tie the series over and over again and lead it all the way into the ace match. But maybe I'm a little bit too hopeful. Maybe I'm a little bit too optimistic. The pressure is now on herO. Openers as well, as of the past couple of months. But so far, not in this series. Not yet. Likewise, on the flip side, we have the stadium packed. Love to see it. And there it is, game number 6 on Xi'an. Maru is leading the series 3-2. Is leading that series. But it's the best of 9, so that means it's first to 5 wins. We still have at least 2 more games ahead of us, and hopefully even more than that. Hopefully. And here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Xi'an, we have our South Korean Terran player Maru for Team Vitality. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have herO for Dragon KaiZ Gaming. Again, herO is down in this series. The pressure is on herO to fight back, to tie the series once again. Or will Maru extend his lead and be that much closer to becoming our StarsWar 11 champion? Here we go. But again, we're loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool. A lot of bases to be taken, and we have yet to really embrace the mid to late game here in this series. It's been hyper aggression time and time again from both Maru and from herO as well. Not like it's only been from one of the players, but from both players have been both very much so in each other's faces. And we do see Maru opening up double gas. Okay, double gas opener out of Maru, going for a faster factory. We saw last game this led into a mine drop, which didn't really lead to too much. We'll see if we embrace another mine drop or if we open up in a different fashion instead. You see herO just walling up that Reaper cliff, going for his gate cyber expand. Do you have a Zealot on the way? I'm curious if we're going to be cancelling the Zealots or if we do end up sending it across the map, which would be a bit of a gamble here for herO, as it is double gas. Yeah, Zealot is going to finish up. We're going to be sending the Zealot across the map. Now, if we had a CC on the low ground, then the Zealot can get some damage done, can, of course, delay the command center. Is going around the left-hand side of the map, is going to be avoiding that Reaper, and here comes that command center. herO, he can get some damage done. In some of the previous games, we saw Maru go for a safety CC on the high ground, but that is not the case here. Not this time, in Game 6. Reaper dips in, we have a full wall. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of herO, which makes sense on a larger map. Should be Stargate into Phoenix. I know that we've seen an Oracle opener already this series from herO, but I imagine Phoenix-based play. Zealot does arrive, and the CC on the low ground is going to be delayed. Additional worker is going to have to be pulled here. Reaper is racing back home. Hellion does arrive in time. But this is a nice start for herO. Doesn't kill the SCV, but doesn't allow it to mine, or doesn't allow it to build that command center. Reaper does come back home. Meanwhile, we can see the production setup here. It's going to be reactor Reaper production. So Reaper Hellion from Maru. This could just be triple Reaper, double Hellion, or we could go up to 5. We have our answer. It's only going to be 3 Reapers. 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. Just some light aggression here from Maru. Meanwhile, herO is massing up those Phoenixes. As we speak, herO also has eyes on the map with the Zonaga. Does spot the move out. Spots the army as well. Will shade back home. And we have control of the high ground of the ramp. Maru's pushing in. He dives into the bases. Phoenixes, they come out just in time. We pick up one of the Hellions. The other does get in, but barely any HP. It's not going to get any damage done. We get 1 volley off here on the probes, but only 1. Good defense by herO. Doesn't lose anything, but Maru is aware of the tech. He's aware of the Phoenixes. Behind this, going into reactor Cyclone production. Vikings as well. And we'll see how many Cyclones we invest into. Once again, we do see Maru faking out Cloak. We've seen that before. Adept's going to be threatening the natural. So far, so good. Viking comes out. We can zone the army away. herO has to retreat. And is getting into his robo behind this. Again, the beginnings of Phoenix Colossus from herO. Dives back in, sees Cloak, but I'm sure this time he's aware that it could be a fake out. Phoenixes do take a lot of hits. And herO is setting up his third. Meanwhile, we are continuing that Cyclone production, by the way. And I'm getting some side Delta vibes here. This could be the beginning of something like Mech. Third CC is thrown down. I'm curious if we are going to be throwing down another factory. Just because this setup is very similar to that previous game. To side Delta. Adepts shade across the map. Going to be slipping into the mineral line at the same time. Maru does arrive across the map. We do have a shield battery. And force fields. Here we go. We go for the lifts. A couple of cyclones going to be going down, but we barely have anything to support the Phoenixes. Yeah, not enough on the ground to support. We have only 2 Stalkers. Adepts do make it back home. Just in time. And is it going to be enough? It looks like it is. Looks like it's just barely enough here. The Cyclones are cleaned up. The Viking as well. And we're chasing down that medevac. herO holds. herO does hold. There we go. Second and third. Rack's on the way. Stim is on the way. It is not going to be Mech. It's going to be Bio. Thankfully. Oh my god. Nice catch from Maru. Does pick up a Phoenix. Very nice catch. Continuing Cyclone production as well. Top defender against said Phoenixes. Behind this, charge is on the way. Interesting. We're not going Colossus. Going Phoenix into charge lots. We go for the scout. We confirm it is going to be Bio. We catch a Viking. Good pick off, but oh, we trade a Viking for a Phoenix. That not so much for herO. The best trade. Speaking of though, herO, he's rushing into his 4th as Maru's still on 2 bases. And that 4th base is going to be the gold. Very greedy here by herO, but I think he can get away with it. Again, Maru's not going for a 2-base all-in. He's taking a 3rd. He's throwing down more production. He's throwing down double E-base for double upgrades. Maru, he's building himself up, which means he won't be able to deny this Nexus. So we'll see if herO can get away with it. As these Phoenixes, they still continue to be active. We get another 4. We get another 5 SCV kills at the natural. Rotating back around, getting more SCVs in the main base. The turrets are a little bit too late. Maru being too greedy here. Delaying the turrets, loses 9 workers. And herO has a massive economic lead. He's on 71 probes, going for a massive gateway explosion. We have charge lots, soon to be charge lot plus Archon, as Temple Archives is on the way. This can also lead into charge, as we don't have any splash damage yet. Charge would be a great asset here to herO. A great way to round out his army. As Phoenixes, they come back in once again, pulling Maru apart. Oh my god. 3 more SCVs. It has been adding up. Again, a lot of this because of the failed push from Maru. That push, how dedicated he was with all those Cyclones, means late Stim, means later Viking production, later 3rd. herO's been doing just a great job at punishing Maru. But here we go. Maru's moving out. Charge is done. And herO, he wants to fight out in the open. Mine shot's going to be going off. Decent mine connection on the Zealots. There was just the one mine. There we go. 2 more do rock up. herO has to back off. Does back off for now. Rotating around. Trying to bypass those Widow Mines. Will lift them both up. And the Widow Mines are shut down. The Zealots, they collapse here on the 3rd base. And Maru, he has no backbone to his army again. No tanks, no mines. Just Cyclones more than anything. Good force field here by herO. A nice pickup from Maru. He does avoid the main bulk of that army. Does avoid the Zealots. Boys are being pulled. Once again, Maru pulling back to that mineral line. Really nice SimCity. Really nice use of the terrain. Maru is holding. Is barely holding on. But the Archons have arrived. Phoenixes are going down. We shut down the Vikings. Big Archon shots here on the SCVs. Ooh, 27 SCVs going to be going down. And even if Maru holds, damage has been done. And I'm not sure he can hold. Now the Prism is going to be shut down. We're cleaning up all the Zealots. Maru will clean this up. Oof, but we lose so many medevacs. And again, 37 SCVs here. He's getting a 5th. We don't need a 5th, but sure, why not? 5th base is on the way. Colossus as well. We did not invest into Storm. Just charge the Archon. Colossus on the way, and from here, Maru, he's committed. He has no economy behind this. It's all in. It's all or nothing for Maru. He's working on Ghost production. He's working on those Ghosts, and that will help. Don't get us wrong. He's also got triple Mules as well. Mules are good, but they're not that good. Good mind shot. Takes down the Phoenix. herO pushing forward. I mean, he has a Colossus, but he does not have Extended Thermal Lance. There we go. Just now starts. Working his 2-2 upgrades. Does reinforce. With more charge lots. With a couple of, I think, High Templar for Archons as well. And again, pushing into this third base has been difficult for herO. Has been difficult, but he's still pushing through. Yeah, there's that High Templar he can feedback. Yeah, Maru trying to make his final stand. Mindshot's going to be going off of the Stalkers. The boys are being pulled, but there are just so many Zealots here. And the Colossus, they're just wreaking havoc on the bio. GG gets called. There's just too much to handle here. And herO will tie up the series 3-3. GG. It was herO's turn to win. GG, well played. Whew. herO does tie things up here. We are going the distance. It's happening, Bobby. It's happening. GG, well played. Again, Maru, he was so dedicated with his initial Cyclone push, something we don't see too often, especially because of the nerf to the Cyclones. This Cyclone heavy style is very out of fashion nowadays, so it was really interesting to see Maru bring it back. And to be fair, Maru almost broke herO. I'm sure we're going to be seeing it on the highlights, but there was that fight at the third base where Maru was pushing through and herO barely held on. He had like 3 units on the ground. He had like 2 sentries, had like 2 stalkers as well. His adepts were out on the map. Like, that was a very close fight, and once the adepts came back home, herO did hold, and as soon as that happened, herO counterattacked with his Phoenixes, and you saw how much damage he dealt with that. He killed, what, 15 SCVs? It was insane how much damage he dealt with that. He got a full scout of the main base. Because he got a full scout, because of the aggression failing, herO got away with the gold as well. That was another big factor that I didn't emphasize too much, is that because herO was able to get away with the gold base, that's why he snowballed out of control with that charge lot composition. He had so much minerals to work with, had such an economy to work with, and that's how he was able to break Maru then and there at the third. GG, well played. Again, the gold was completely uncontested, untouched, as Maru couldn't really contest against it because of the earlier failed aggression. And now we find ourselves in Game 7. Still not the ace match, by the way. This is not a best of 7, this is a best of 5. And Game 7 is going to be on Ghost River. Oh boy. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Ghost River is going to be coming up next. A very aggressive map. We'll see who takes the lead. And here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have Maru for Team Vitality. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have herO for Dragon Kaizi Gaming. The crowd goes wild. Let's go. Again, Maru, the best Terran in the world. herO, the best Protoss in the world. They are facing off here and now. And what more could we ask for to have a back and forth like this? I mean, I would still love to see a more late game scenario between these two players. But again, because of the aggressive nature of herO and Maru, I don't think we're going to get that. But I can always hope. I can always dream. As this probe from herO gets across the map that much faster, applies some pressure. being as annoying as possible. Does get some damage done on that building SCV. As again, we have loaded into Ghost River. Shortest rush distance map in the map pool. Aggression is going to be that much harder. It's going to be hitting that much harder on this map as a result. You see here, he wants that SCV, doesn't quite get it. But it's looking to be an economic build here by Maru. Interesting. This is looking like a Rax expand, as we've only taken one gas. So this time, a much more economic build from our Terran player. And herO does confirm. And he wants that SCV! He wants it! Oh my god, it's so low. Oh no, show us! Show us the workers! What are you doing? Okay, he gets away. I love you, Rex. I love you. Rex, of course, our observer. And we're going for the CC on the high ground. Okay, so a safe follow-up here from Maru. I mean, still economic, but he's going for the CC on the high ground to make sure he doesn't get disrupted and disturbed like we saw in the previous game with the Zealot. And we're settling into our early game. Are settling in. Enemy Gate Cyber Expand. Now, because we're loading into Ghost River, I do not expect a Stargate. I'd be very surprised to see a Stargate opener here. I would be more expectant of a Blink, of a Twilight Council, or Blink Stalkers. Oh, but we go for the third option. It is not a Stargate, but it is in fact a Robo opener out of herO. Now, we have seen this time and time again lead into a Warp Prism first, into early Gateway Aggression, and we've seen different follow-ups here from herO. We've seen this lead into a fast Bane to fast Colossus. We've also seen this lead into a fast Immortal into a 2-base charge all-in, which we saw on Dynasty. Now, to be fair, on Dynasty, herO made use of the gold base, so his economy was boosted, which kind of helped facilitate for that charge-based all-in. That won't be the case here on Ghost River. So we'll see where this leads. Meanwhile, we see Maru opening up with a mine drop, this time a little bit more dedicated. That's going to be a second Winter Mine on the way. Medevacs are in production as well. A little bit old school. We don't really see too many mine drop based openers anymore. It's cool to see it again. See the initial observers moving out to get some scouting information. There's that Immortal on the way as a follow-up. Interesting. I'm waiting for the Twilight Council. I'm waiting for the charge. There's that Twilight Council on the way. This is looking suspiciously like the build we saw in Dynasty. Observer gets across the map. This is an early tank from Maru, by the way, so early tank production will keep us safe against a Twilight Council-based build, but this can also lead into a 2-base all-in from the side of Maru. We'll keep an eye on him as well when it comes to how many tanks he's able to whip out. How he does push. Here comes that mine drop towards the main. The Immortal's stuck! No shot! Mine drop comes in, we do react in time, and we're gonna get maybe one probe going down, but the Immortal is trapped in between the building. Wait, is it? It is! No! Not like this. Feels bad, man. I mean, it's like, it's not the biggest of deals, right? Like, we'll break it free with the Prism, but that's unfortunate. As Maru is pushing, by the way, we need that Immortal. Uh-oh. Okay, it's okay. We're chronoing out that Prism. The Immortal will soon be broken free, but this also means that we cannot engage in the center of the map. As Maru's moving out, we have the Liberator towards that natural. Let the Immortal free. Charges on the way. Liberator should be shut down, and Maru doesn't commit with his army. He's coming in with the drop, but we do zone it away. Good cleanup here from herO. He shuts down the Lib. He does zone away the drop, and Maru pulls back. Whew, okay, we're good. we're okay, we're okay. The Immortal's out of jail. He's been let free. 2 more gates are being thrown down as well. It's going to be 4 gates for the time being, and okay, so it's not going to be a 2-base all-in here out of herO, at least not yet. It's just going to be 4-gate charge into a 3rd with a Templar Archives for Archon production, and potentially Storm as well. Okay, so it's settling in towards the mid-game. herO working on his 3rd. And scouting his opponents with that hallucination. Getting eyes on the production. It's going to be a 3-1-1 setup here out of Maru. Oh, did I say 3-1-1? Sorry, that's going to be a 4-1-1 setup. As we do throw down additional Raxes. Yeah, 5th Rax is on the way. So 5 Rax set up here. We do have Storm in production for herO. That should be up in time for any kind of stim timing from Maru. As stim is on the way, but those 2 Raxes, by the way, that are on the production tab, they're hidden in the natural. They're hidden in the natural, and Maru, I'm sure, is hoping that he can keep that away from the prying eyes of herO. Here he goes in a little bit deeper with that Observer into the main. I believe he hasn't checked the edge of the natural yet, but he's about to. Yeah, there we go. He confirms. He confirms the Rax count. He sees, he knows. There's still no 3rd base from Maru. And herO, he throws down another shield battery, which I think is a wise move right now. Because Maru, he might decide to commit with this. For now, going for a drop. Going for a double drop towards the south. Raven harass here at the 3rd base. We do get the feedback after the auto tower gets thrown down. Maru being active with his drop. What's important as well is that because of the positioning of the Observer, herO will spot a move out. Like, so if Maru does commit, herO will spot it. Ooh, as I say that, the Observer is being hunted down. The Observer does fall. You can see herO fanning out his Zealots to try to catch any kind of army. And Maru, does he pull the boys? He is moving out with everything he has here. Double drop into the main base, and he does pull the boys, by the way. That's the big blob on the map. Wait, does he, though? Big storm! Oh my god! 12 SCVs go down. I mean, Maru, he was already committed anyway. And how many storms do we have? Ooh, just in time. Big storms on the army. On the Marines, on the Marauders, but there's nothing else to support those High Templar. Yeah, the Immortals were out of position. Double drop coming, collapsing in on top of the 3rd base. We deny the warp in as well, but we have more storms. We have more storms available, and here he's shutting this army down. He collapses on top of the tanks. The Raven falls. Oh my god, massive storm on the bio. And Maru, he loses everything. GG gets called. He was committed with the 2 base all in, and herO takes a lead. Whew. GG, back. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, herO. Important that he was able to identify the additional Raxes that were thrown down and hidden at the natural. Likewise, Storm did finish up just in time as well. Beautiful storms there out of herO. Good positioning with said High Templar, and was able to shut Maru down. And now I'm a little bit concerned. I'm concerned because it was Maru's turn to win. That's what's concerning me, Papi. It was Maru's turn, and herO is the one to take a lead instead, and herO is now 1 game away from getting his revenge from the GSL finals and from becoming our StarsWar 11 champion. 1 more win is all herO needs. Maru is now up against the wall. And I don't think we've actually had that scenario. Usually whenever a player takes the lead in this series, it's been Maru, not herO. Now the turns have tabled. Turns have tabled here. As it looks like the clean feed is struggling a little bit. Uh oh, now is not the time. Now is not the time for some latency issues, Papi. As for those that are curious, I'm not in the game. Oh, well, none of the casters are in the game. The community casters or the English casters, we're all casting from a clean feed, and the clean feed is struggling a little bit at the moment. And okay, we're good. Whew. Okay, I got scared. I say that the clean feed is not too stable here. As you can see, we're experiencing a bit of a slideshow. Oh. Thankfully, the game hasn't started yet, and we can let the admins know. One moment here. I'm just trying to see if there is a second feed that I can try to use instead. We're about to climax in the tournament, but now is not the time. Okay. Okay, we're good. Whew. Okay, we're back, Poppy. We're back. Sometimes it does occur. For those that are curious as well, whenever it comes to these events from China, usually it's funneled through a VPN. So they funnel it through a VPN first to broadcast it out to the other casters. So sometimes it's not the most stable of things, but we're good. We're back. We're going through the highlights here of the game. Whew. No need to picnic. No need to panic. Thankfully. Catching up the chat. Best of the most vetoed maps in the map pool is coming up next. Oh boy. I believe for the first time this cast. Sorry, I think for the first time this tournament, right? If I'm not mistaken, I don't think we saw Post Youth in any other series. Yeah, I don't think we saw this in any other series. Let's go. I was just trying to remember, trying to recollect yesterday's games. What a 0 Post Youth so far. Now we finally get to see it towards the end of the tournament. And what do our players have in store for us? Let's go. Let us go. Lobby has been made and we are loading in to potentially the final game of the tournament. The pressure is on. Maru has to fight back here. Now, if you want the ace match, then Maru needs your support. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Post Youth, we have South Korean Terran player for Team Vitality, Maru. And in the top right, we have his opponent, we have herO for Dragon Kaizi Gaming. The crowd. Let us go. Whew, okay, herO, for the first time, I believe this series, has a lead. Does take a lead. And we'll see if he can hold on to it. We'll see if he can end it all here and now. Personally, I want an ace match. I want us to go all the way to game 9. It is so rare. I mean, best of 9s are rare. Have we ever had an ace match, best of 9, in a premier tournament in StarCraft? Like, that I'm not so sure about. We can look into it later. We are so close to that. We can see herO going for a very greedy build. herO goes for a gate expand. Typically, we would be seeing gate cyber expands, but herO does cut some corners, and this is one of the reasons why this map is so heavily vetoed, because it is a pocket, or it's a in-base natural. It's a free natural base. Not just that, but the natural base is also a hybrid gold base as well. Very valuable, does give you a boosted economy, and it does allow you to be as greedy as possible and cut as many corners as you can. Speaking of, surprisingly, Maru doesn't cut corners. Maru goes double gas. Interesting. So we have herO being greedy, we have Maru opening up a little bit safer or more aggressive, depending on how you want to approach this. Double gas means delayed command center, means delayed expansion, faster factory. Something I'm a little bit surprised to see here on Post Youth. Considering the features of the map, we can see that Maru, he's checking for a proxy location. I don't blame him. Like, honestly, it's not uncommon for a lot of the Korean players, when they take a lead in the series, they cheese. Like, they go for a proxy, so Maru is playing safe. But that safety from Maru is going to work against him a little bit. Now, the Reaper does get across the map. Adept is on the way. Oh, just in time. And herO is going to be able to maintain his economy. Maru confirms that the base is already up and running. Behind this, Maru getting into the 1-1-1. CC at the natural, on location, of course. And herO once again opening up Robo. He's been very fond of this. I could be mistaken, but I think herO has gone for a Robo opener more often than not. Like, it's been his most common tech of choice so far in this series. More often than a Twilight Council, more often than a Stargate. Ooh, as Reaper is going to be shut down, but I believe Maru saw the tech. I believe he did see the robo. Behind this, Maru opening up with an initial medevac drop, and Marines are amassing, Cyclones on the way as well. Now with this robo-based opener, we could go a couple different ways. As I mentioned before, this could lead into fast Colossus, this could lead into a fast War Prism to harass across the map, can lead into Immortals. First, it's going to be the Observer. Have our Observer to scout across the map. Meanwhile, Maru is soon to be active with his drop play. It is going to be that much more difficult for herO to keep up, as he does not have Blink Stalkers or Phoenixes. That's why we see those more prevalent as an opener here in TvP. Sorry, PvT. To be able to keep up with drops. So we'll see what Maru can get done as he's going across the map with a singular Cyclone drop. Okay. Meanwhile, very early tank production here out of Maru. Very early on. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice from herO. It's Robo into fast Colossus. We have a safety Immortal. The Bay is on the way. Colossus production is on the horizon. Cyclone gets one probe. Observer confirms the additional racks is on the way. Confirms the tech labs as well. Gets eyes on the first tank. So herO is aware that the tank count is becoming quite large quite quickly. Is aware of that at least. Meanwhile, the medevac is forced away. Is going to be hunted down by the Vanilla Stalkers, but there we go. He's going to escape. And back at home, the first Colossus is now in production, all ready for herO. Again, this is one of the strengths of a Robo Opener, and it makes a lot of sense to go for this style of Robo Opener specifically, just because the map is so large. It takes so long to move out, and even if we did move out, herO has eyes on everything. So it's very safe to be this greedy. Meanwhile, Maru doing his best to harass, and he comes in with the Raven. Does deny quite a bit of mining time, but is going to be shut down. Working towards our stim timing. 1-1. No mech this time. Not again. We do have quite a hefty upgrade timing here for Maru working on stim. Combat shields +1 as well, building up his tank count. Does get eyes on the Observer and will hunt it down. Good pick off here by Maru. herO's going to have to replace that Observer with either another Observer or move out with some Zealots, fan out some ground units instead. Working on another Colossus. Hallucination gets eyes on the Raven. Again, Maru's being very active with this Raven Cyclone combo just in night vision. And we're moving out. We are going for a massive move out here. The army is spotted. 2 tanks, a massive amount of bio. Stim, combat shields, all is finishing up. Combat shields still a couple of seconds away. +1 as well. We see herO trying to meet up with that ground army. The tanks are a bit exposed. herO does miss it. Does catch the tail end. Gets a Marine. But the tanks do siege. Oh, big volleys going off. Nice whole position micro out of herO. Gets a couple of swipes in. Oh, the Observer goes down. And as the Observer goes down, Maru, he picks up, he goes for a mine drop. Going for a mine drop towards that main base, and Maru does back off for a moment there, rotating around. Okay, he goes back over with his tanks. Mine drop into the main base. And damage is going to be done here. Here, a bit of a late reaction. Oh! Oh my god. 2 mines go off. The 3rd mine shot is going to get a couple more probes. 4 probes go down. And we have 1 mine left in the main. And we do retarget, but herO does pull away in time. Oh! Ooh, getting 7 probes in total. Not bad. 7 probes for 4 Widow Mines. Not a bad trade for Maru. Meanwhile, herO has a death ball of an army. There's a reason why Maru backed off. That's because herO has now reached critical mass of Colossus. He doesn't just have 3, he has 4 Colossus. From here, he can go into Disruptor production or Immortals to support his army. Blink is on the way, +1. Like, a head-on engagement into 4 Colossus is not going to be easy. Not without Vikings. Speaking of, Maru has commenced Viking production. Ghost Academy's on the way. Maru threatens a Doom Drop into the main base, but Stalkers are in position. Thankfully, Maru does scan. He sees. He knows. Maru does back off. herO setting up for his 4th base, looking to take the gold. herO moves out. Blink is still a ways off. Ooh, those tanks don't have much support though. Thankfully, the drop is racing back home, and can we catch a Colossus? No, not quite. herO reinforcing. No bunkers, by the way. Very little SimCity. The charge that happens over the army. The tank was unsieged. That was not the time. Tank was caught on siege. Colossus wreaking havoc here. 1 Colossus goes down. The 2nd as well. Good target firing here with the Vikings. But the hallucinations are tanking some shots. And herO is gaining ground. I say that he's running out of his ground army. Not enough zealots. Yeah, not enough support. And he bleeds out too much. Colossus goes down. Decent juggling, but again, the Colossus should fall. Oh, massive loss there for herO. He was so committed there, he chose not to throw down the 4th. The gold base was not taken. And now Maru takes a lead. And herO's in trouble. herO's in a lot of trouble there. Sure, Maru, he lost around 15 workers in that defense. But he has an army, and herO has nothing left. Again, he didn't have to push in, Papi. It was tempting, sure. I mean, there was no bunkers or no SimCity protecting the tanks. I understand it, but herO was poised to set up and get into a longer game with a lead. Alas, now herO, he barely has anything left. Going for a Zealot run by does distract some of Maru's forces. Like, herO needs time. If he can buy like a couple of minutes here to rebuild his Colossus for his Disruptors, then maybe. These elves actually brought the entire army back home. Okay. We have a massive Viking advantage as well, which is why herO isn't making Colossus, making Disruptors. Another Zealot Rabbi is moving out. But Maru, he's looking to tie up this series. Yeah, he denies the 4th base. There's no saving it. Charge ults, they run into some bio, but we have plenty of reinforcements. Maru shuts down the Zealots. herO desperately trying to take a 4th base, but it's not happening. And even with the juiciest Novas, even if these Purification Novas connect with as much as they can, even then, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Maru scans, he pre-splits, spreads out his army, Nova goes off. A decent connection. A little bit trigger happy there out of herO. Once again, not a bad connection from herO. But that's all he had. He had 3 Novas. They'll run by across the map. Here comes the main army of Maru. Would you pop the overcharge? Another Disruptor comes in. Doesn't connect. And the Purification Novas are resetting. We have 2 left. We're down to 1. 1 Nova remains here for herO. Maru pushing on forward, getting within range of the army, getting within range of the Nexus. EMP is going to be going off. herO, can he pull this off, by the way? Oh! Not a bad connection, gets a Ghost. Does take down a Ghost. The Vikings land. And we're going to be dropping the Vikings in the main base. herO, he just doesn't have the numbers to defend. Probes are going down. 7 workers in the blink of an eye. And herO is getting pulled apart. He should defend the main. At the same time, though, his 4th is under fire, and he needs the 4th base. And that's going to be a kill on the Nexus. 4th base goes down. This was a very impressive defense here by herO, by the way. I know that he's still in a rough position because he lost the 4th base, but a lesser player would have died. Straight up, a lesser player would have died then and there already. And here, he's still on his last legs. Like, Maru doesn't have to break herO. His win condition can just be to deny the 4th over and over again. Speaking of, he splits up his army. He's going for the 4th base once again. And it is going to be denied. Yeah, there's the cancel on the 4th. That's all Maru has to do. Nice EMP on the army. Really rough engage there for herO. Does connect with an Nova. Gets 2 ghosts. Not bad. Gets a couple of ghosts. Goes for a Zealot run by. Gets into the mineral line. Ooh, Disruptor barely does go down. Finally, one Disruptor falls. Yeah, and herO taking a rough fight here. Finally, we break through. The Stalkers go down. Disruptors as well. We need reinforcements. Those they come in just in time. Never, not causing any friendly fire. But again, here he's barely holding on. Across the map, his counterattack was cleaned up. And now Maru can focus on the fight. He can focus on the push. Good Nova. Get some decent Novas, but I think we have 2 Novas remaining. Ooh. Good target firing out of Maru. Yeah, once again, it looks like he finally breaks herO. GG gets called, and Maru ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. GG. Oh my god. It's happening. It's happening, Papi. Let's go. GG, well played. How rare are best of 9s, and how rare are ace matches in best of 9s in StarCraft? Aye, let's go. Maru the GOAT. We're going the distance here, all the way to game 9. 1 game remains here to crown our champion. And already, this has been amazing, right? Like I don't want to knock on GSL, but the most recent GSL finals that we had between Maru and herO were a little bit more one-sided. They were more one-sided. Maru had a more dominant performance against herO. But it's been, what, 2 months? It's been some time. It's been quite some time since that, or even 3 months at this point. It's been quite some time since that GSL finals, and herO, he is getting his revenge here, regardless, win or lose. And again, Maru came in as one of the heavy favorites to win the entire tournament. He's the best Terran player in the world. It's been a great finals. It's been a great finals, and you don't make a good finals with 1 good player. You make it with 2. Like, this has been a great matchup here between Maru and herO, going all the way to game 9. Going all the way to the ace match. Regardless of who wins, I'm satisfied. I got what I wanted, Papi, but here we go. It all ends on Amphion. Oh my god. I support the aliens. Let's go. Let us go. One way or another, the tournament ends here on Amphion, the final game, the final map of the series. Both Maru and herO, they've done so well for themselves, making it this far in the tournament and even making it into the ace match. Again, they are some of the best players in the world. They are the best players in the world. I mean, Maru for Terran, herO for Protoss, of course, Serral for Zerg. TvP, don't get better than this. And here we go, we're diving into that final game. Let's go. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amphion, we have Maru for Team Vitality. And in the top right, top left, give it up for herO for CranKy Z Gaming. Let's go. herO and Maru. Tonight, evenly matched, going all the way to game 9. And it all ends here. Amphion, again, one of the more vetoed maps out there. Has some other unique features here when it comes to expansion patterns. You can expand towards the triangular third base, and it can be quite secure, but specifically in this matchup, when it comes to drop play, it can be difficult to secure, it can be difficult to hold against a Terran player. Likewise, we have a ramp leading into the natural, and a ramp leading into that triangular third as well, so it can be quite defendable against frontal pushes. if we were casting Cure, we've seen Cure take a ninja base quite often on this map. It's been crazy. But I don't expect Maru to embrace that. Especially in a Game 9. As we see Maru now embracing a more economic build, it's going to be a Rax Expand. Single gas opener out of Maru. He's going for the CC. We're going for the command center. Meanwhile, herO, he's checking the natural for any kind of proxy rack shenanigans behind the mineral line, behind the gas. Confirms that there's nothing there. Is a Gate Cyber Expand from herO. Again, when it came to that last game, we actually barely touched on it. But that last game was wild. Like herO, he was it felt like he was primed to take it. For herO to defend against the early aggression, to get up to 4 critical mass Colossus, up to 4 Colossus. And remember, he made a choice. herO could have taken his gold as his 4th, or pushed. And he decided to push. He decided to push out, decided to try to break the 3rd base of Maru. He was unable to. The Vikings came out just in time. The tanks were able to siege up. The Colossus went down, and Maru had a miracle hold there. So herO just misjudging the situation a little bit, misjudging the defenses of Maru, committed into a fight that did not go his way. And that was the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end for herO. And we find ourselves in Game 9. Now, what kind of tech are we going to be working with? I feel like Amphion is not a bad map for Stargate play, Stargate Phoenixes, but we'll see. We'll see what herO does embrace. It's rough to make Blink Stalkers work, or I should say like 4-gate Blink work on this map, just because of the Reaper cliffs that we have available to us. We have a cliff coming into the natural. It's difficult to actually get access to the main base. So not the best map for Blink Stalkers. And we see it's not going to be Blink. It's going to be a Robo. It's going to be a Robo opener here out of herO. Which confirms that herO did not go for a single 4-gate Blink build. Just 0 4-gate Blink out of herO this entire series, which is crazy. Meanwhile, the Hellion bypasses the main army, heads into the main base, gets a full scout of everything, and Maru does confirm the Robo. We're even getting 1 probe as well, not bad. 1 probe and a full scout. With a Robo opener, this could be for fast Colossus, but doesn't have to be. This can always transition into a Twilight Council, and there it is. Twilight Council is on the way. This should be for Blink. There are charge variations which are more aggressive, but I don't really see that working too much on Amphion, as the mine drop is going across the map and is scouted by herO. So herO has a heads up of the mine drop. You can see him repositioning his Stalkers. Does get eyes on the medevac and should respond. Oh god, the workers do bunch up for a moment there. Oh my god, herO, calm down. And we get the mine in the main base as well. So far, so good. 2 probes go down. Again, that could have been so much worse. herO playing with fire. Another mine shot going off. We get 3 probes for 2 mines. Good damage dealt here by Maru. On top of that, he gets a full scout. What's important here is he confirms this time it's not going to be a fast Bay. This time it's not going to be fast Colossus. He confirms the tech of the Twilight Council instead. So a very important scout there by Maru. We can see it's not Blink, it's going to be Charge, but it's not going to be a committed Charge build. It's Charge lots and immediately a Templar Archives. I'm curious if herO is going to rush into Storm. Very curious. I mean, he's going to have a lot of gas available to him because he's going to be warping in Zealots, so should have the gas for Storm once Templar Archives is done. Meanwhile, Maru going for a drop or setting up a drop himself. I say a drop. I think this was a hunting party for an observer. Speaking of, the observer was a little bit further back in the center of the map, and we'll get eyes on the marine drop. Maru does pull back. It's very likely that he actually saw the shimmer of the observer and recognized that his opponent will be ready. There's Storm on the way. Very fast Storm here out of herO. And we saw how well Storm worked previously. And we saw how well it worked earlier on Ghost River. See how well it can work here. You can see Maru coming in, hunting down that observer. Observer does get away. Does get away in time. Maru moving out on a drop. Once again spotted by herO. His scouting, I should say his scouting units have been impeccable here. Whether it's Observer, whether it's Probe, at times Zealots or Stalkers. Did spot the drop. Is aware. Meanwhile, herO does end up slipping into the main base with a handful of Stalkers. Remember, there is no blink. He can apply some pressure. He's going for the Raven. Doesn't quite get it. Oof. Volley goes off, but the Raven does survive. herO just keeping Maru's attention back at home. As Maru is mining through those minerals, looking to expand and take his third base at the triangular third location. Very aggressive base here. Oof. Same time, Marines go down. Good pick off there by herO. Very nicely done. Does get a medevac. Storm coming. We feed back the Raven. Charge will say shut down the push, but Maru, he loads up. He goes into the main base. Forces herO to back off. Does force him to respect the drops. Another drop on the right-hand side. herO taking a more defensive stance instead. Waiting for blink. Waiting for +1. Bay is on the way for Colossus production. herO working towards a later game, working towards the mid game here. Medevac is going to be going down, so it's going to be a one-way trip. Good target fire here, getting 3 Stalkers. Very nice trade, and a pylon. Maru just getting as much value as he can out of that drop. Taking his third base. Again, expanding towards his opponent. This typically means that Maru should be taking the center fourth. As in the one on the left-hand side, the hybrid gold base. See if herO can deny that. Second Robo's on the way. That's going to be for double Colossus production. herO should be taking a fourth, and we should be calming things down. Now, to be fair, it has been quite chaotic leading up to this point, as we do get some storms across the map. Ooh. Decent storms of feedback as well. Maru continues to push. herO getting ready. Maru gonna retreat once he got scouted. And what I was gonna say is that this is the first time that it feels like we're entering a more stable mid game here. Nice bait on the mine shots. Very nicely done here by herO. Where herO's working on a fourth. Maru's gonna be working on his own fourth. Let's go. Army's gonna be engaging Storm. Grazes some of the Marines. Mainly zoning storms there from herO. Picking up a Marauder. Retreating. herO has to be careful not to be too careless with his storms. Doesn't want to get caught without them. As he's going to be committing, he's pushing into the third. Oh, big storm on the arm. Oh my god, massive storms. Good mine shot though, as that takes down the Prism. Oh, the War Prism does go down. herO has to back off. He has to retreat. herO in a bit of trouble here. No storms are left. This is what we spoke about. And so important here to have a High Templar in the back line, to have a storm ready just in case. As the army is trade, herO is double expanding, by the way. He's getting a fourth and a fifth at the same time. He's crazy. And I feel like he's playing with fire right now, pushing in with, I mean, he does have a storm available, true, doesn't have a War Prism. Colossus does reinforce. Scan on the right-hand side reveals a base. herO throwing down pylons to get vision there. As he picks up a couple of SCVs. Again, herO just refusing to back off. Does refuse, does push in. He's pushing into tanks though. Yeah, nice EMP. Good tank shots going off as well. High Templar, they come in for a feedback, but we can't get much more than that. And we force the Archon. I believe those are the final 2 High Templar in the main army. I believe there are no storms remaining. At least not with the main army. herO does retreat. And now we're working towards Disruptors. Disruptor production has commenced. We have a 4th Colossus on the way. herO rotating around. He gets eyes on the 4th on the right-hand side. And how does herO split up his army? Because I'm sure he wants to deny that 4th. He's sending out some Zealots. Keeps 2 Colossus back at home. Keeps the Colossus back at home. Rock's gonna be knocked down. And he's pushing in. We do expose the tank. Good pick off on the tank. A nice EMPs though out of Maru. Yeah, snipes the Archon. Meanwhile, the Zealot run by the right-hand side. I believe didn't quite break through. High Templar coming in from the back line. We have a Storm. There it is, Storm here on the Bio Army. Another Storm as well on the left-hand side as well. We're going to be collapsing in, but a big Nova does connect. Colossi kiting back with the Vikings. They're going ham. The Colossus are falling. Yeah, one after the other. The Colossus are going down. And herO, he did overextend. This was not the fight to take. As he bleeds out another Colossus, and herO, he has almost nothing left. Very quickly, the dominoes, they start falling in favor of Maru. And he's breaking the fourth base. Disruptor goes down, Colossus goes down, and this looks like the beginning of the end here as Maru, he's camping this base. More Zealots trickling in. And herO, he has almost nothing left. Again, one bad fight is sometimes all it takes here. It takes so long to rebuild that army for herO. He is making 2 Colossus at a time, but Maru, he's almost maxed out. He's almost maxed out here. We've been here before, even with some juicy Novas, even with the most perfect Purification Novas. We need more than that. And herO, he's being pulled apart. We push in on the right-hand side. We catch the third base. We catch the Disruptors! 1, 2 Disruptors go down. No Novas available. One comes out just in time. But good target firing, and it looks like Maru, again, he has broken the back of herO, pushing into the natural. Depowers the Robo, denies +3. The Nova doesn't even connect there. And it would have barely helped to begin with. We have a reinforcing wave of Zealots. herO trying to muster up any kind of army here to hold on. It's been an intense series. It went all the way to the ace match here. It went the distance. But it looks like it's going to go the way of Maru. GG gets called. Well played. And Maru is going to be your StarsWar 11 champion. GG. GG. Well played. Congratulations here as Maru does take it. But it was not an easy series here. It was not an easy finals. It went down to the wire, went all the way to game 9. He wants to kill him. Get him. Get him, Papi. Again, herO and Maru, they're good friends. For those who don't know, they're good friends. He's like, get away from me. And GG, there it is. Maru will be your champion, raising the trophy. It's going to be a repeat of GSL. I say a repeat. It's going to be Maru claiming another championship, but this season 1 of GSL, herO came second, Maru came first. Here, StarsWar 11, Maru comes first, herO comes second. That's 3 second places. herO, I'm sure he'll get that gold medal at some point this year, I'm sure. Or is he going to be the new Kong? Who's to say? Oh, is that Maru? They're playing the Terran intro for him. Let's go. Okay, never mind. I was like, are they just gonna play like the Wings of Liberty intro now? Oh, we're good, we're good. It's like, what's that unit there? What's that creature? There was no Zerg in this tournament. Don't the creators of this cinematic know? Don't they know it's only a 2-race game? It's only Protoss and Terran. Smoge.
It's about time.
Hello， 各位亲爱的观众朋友们，欢迎回来，这里是赛后采访环节。今天晚上金色的雨属于 Maru， 我们再一次把 掌声送给我们的冠军。好的，在这里也是进行我们的赛后采访环节。首先想问一下 Maru， 经过了这一场非常激烈的鏖战，最后也是打好打满，想必你现在也有很多的心里话想和我们在场的观众，还有屏幕前的观众分享关于这一场决赛，来跟大家说一下吧。
네, 7월 경기 끝나고 드디어 우승됐어요. 우승하고 싶은 말 있으세요?
오늘 너무 많이 와주셔서 너무 감사하고 또 이제 이어폰을 뚫고 함성 소리가 들리더라고요. 그 덕분에 우승할 수 있었던 것 같고 항상 감사드린다고 하고 싶습니다.
他说今天来了很多热情的粉丝，然后他在那个耳机里面也听到了一些就是大家的欢呼声，他觉得非常感谢大家。
我们再欢呼一下他的名字给他听好吗？ 哇，谢谢所有的粉丝们。那其实也想问一下Maru，因为刚刚这场比赛是打好打满的，你觉得刚刚在哪一局里面是你最艰难的时刻呢？
아까 제일 어려운 세트는 몇 세트였지?
일단 7세트 지고 오늘 안 되겠구나 생각했는데 다음 판 이겨가지고 그 덕분에 우승할 수 있었던 것 같습니다.
他觉得第7局是最难的，因为那个关系到赛点嘛，如果输了的话就拿不到这个冠军了，所以说那一盘应该是最难的。
那其实有很多人说，在这个版本里面 P 是比较占优势的，但是你在一场一场的比赛里面战胜了一个又一个的神族选手，在刚刚的决赛里面也战胜了世一 P 的 herO， 版本似乎没有对你造成任何的影响，对此你是怎么觉得的呢？
이번 패치도 있고 프로토스 인바라는 소리가 많이 근데 너는 세계 제일 세계 1등 팀을 프로토스를 이겨서 우승을 하고 싶은 말 어떤 심정이에요?
일단 결승에서 제가 2번 이겨가지고 이제 사기라고 말하기도 좀 애매한 상황이라서 그냥 제가 잘하면은 다 우승할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
他说他在决赛中已经2次战胜了herO，所以这个东西还不好说拼音吧。他只要自己实力在这儿，就一定能够战胜他。
哦，与其说是T音霸还是P音霸，我觉得每一个选手的实力才是最音霸的。在这里我们可以说Maru音霸。 好的，那么我们接下来就要有请我们本次在决赛日的所有选手登台来进行我们的颁奖环节，让我们掌声有请今天决赛日的所有选手。
我是会下去了吧？那他这个带下去不？
Get him! Get him!
来，我们再一次把掌声送给我们今天决赛日的4位选手，他们给我们呈现了一个非常非常精彩和难忘的决赛日。
Oh, they're chanting herO.
我相信赛场上的每一位选手都听到了你们的欢呼。那么接下来，让我们有请西安曲江 WE 电子竞技俱乐部的 CEO 张伟先生来为我们的 Gumiho 和 Skills 颁发荣誉信物，掌声有请。
If you didn't hear, they were cheering for all the players. So they chanted herO, then they chanted Skillless, and they chanted Gumiho. I'm pretty sure. Love the crowd.
上我们的摄像机，一起合影留念，记录这珍贵的一刻。好的，感谢我们的张伟先生，可以继续入席观礼。那接下来我们要有请达波电竞的王子卫先生为我们的亚军选手 herO 来颁发他的荣誉奖品。好的，同样我们一起面对我们的摄像机合影留念。好的，非常感谢王先生，可以入席观礼。好的，那接下来就要为我们的冠军来颁发我们属于他的荣誉信物。我们要有请到的是我们的星际老男孩 SCBoy 的黄旭东先生，欢迎！掌声送给我们的黄哥。
Oh, shall say.
有请黄哥为我们的 Maru 颁发冠军奖状。拍照，拍照，拍照。
Where's F91?
好的，也是一起合影留念一下，来记录下这个珍贵的一刻。非常感谢黄哥，那么我们再一次恭喜我们本次2024 StarsWar 11星际争霸2线下总冠军 Maru， 再一次把掌声送给他。好的，那么我们本次星际争霸2的线下比赛到这里就要全部结束了。时隔5年，我相信在场的每一位都跟我一样，感受到了星际争霸2的魅力。我们都是因为星际争霸2认识，相信大家也是因为星际有了更多共同美好的回忆。在这里要感谢 StarsWar， 让我们在这里可以进行线下的相聚。这一次短暂的相聚，会让我们拾起我们对星际争霸2的热情，也让我们许下我们下一届 StarsWar 12的愿望。那么在这里再一次感谢西安曲江 W1 电子竞技俱乐部、未来电视、达波电竞、星际老男孩 SCBoy， 也要感谢我们本次赛事的赞助商爱工电竞显示器、TCL。雷鸟、斗鱼直播、网易悠悠加速器、奥风电竞椅以及 KK 对战官方平台，感谢我们每一位赞助商的大力支持。同时，我们也要感谢我们的战略合作伙伴
she's listing all the sponsors.
态度电竞外设的鼎力支持。在这
There's a lot
里
of
之后，还要
sponsors.
特别鸣谢我们西安市曲江新区的管理委员会以及网易雷火工作室对于我们比赛的大力支持。暂别是为了更好的相聚，感谢这2天在现场的每一位观众，以及在线上的每一位观众，陪我们度过了这2天非常难忘、非常令人激动的星际争霸2的线下赛。那么我们本届比赛到这里就要全部落幕了，感谢你们这2天以来的支持跟陪伴，我们明年再见，大家不见不散，拜拜，
拜拜。GG, well played. What an event, by the way. What an event. Of course, this event started a couple of months ago with the qualifiers, by the way. And the qualifiers were insane, of course, with Skillets making it through, with Gumiho, with Firefly, with herO, with all 8 of our players. Let me just quickly go over them. Maru, Spirit, Showtime, Gumiho, Firefly, herO, Oliveira, and Skillets. Of course, this was around the time that the new patch had dropped with the new map pool, and there were no Zerg players that made it through the qualifiers. This was a Zerg-free zone, a Zerg-free tournament. Let's go. Oh my god. And yeah, it was amazing. It was a lot of good fun as well. I should fix this up. Huh. 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 Hold on. Okay. It was an amazing tournament that did take place here, and it was great to see everyone coming together. Of course, it was an offline event. We don't have many offline events anymore, so it was great to see that they were able to house all the players, to fly them all over as well. If you were checking out these social medias like Twitter and Facebook, or mainly Twitter, they were posting, you know, Skillous, Showtime, and Spirit, you know, eating together and getting some Chinese hot pots, and, you know, some behind-the-scene photo shoots that was going on as well. It was a great weekend of StarCraft, and a lot did occur here. I feel like this was a pretty momentous occasion in a couple of different ways. Okay, so a couple of things from the top. Let's go over Firefly, for example. Firefly, he has been on the rise, on the up and up for a long time, and this was a big moment for him because I don't think he's ever really played in front of a crowd before. He did express how nervous he was in his own quarterfinals match against herO, and he played well. Like, he played damn well against herO. Again, I recommend checking out the VODs with how close that series was. It was really great to see Firefly be able to perform in front of a crowd in such a way. Of course, the other big one that was also mentioned in the chat is Skillous. Skillous, he has been improving quite a lot over the past couple of months, over the past year of play, and Skillous did pop off here. He is one of the reasons why Raynor did not qualify for this event, because Skillous knocked him the hell down in those qualifiers. Likewise, Skillous had a dominant performance over Oliveira, and Skillous had a damn good showing as well against herO, as that also went all the way to the ace match that went to the best of 7. There's a world out there where Skillous is in the finals instead of herO. I don't know if that would have made for as good of a finals, I don't know, but like that there's a world that could have occurred. That's just how good Skillous was looking against herO earlier today. Definitely recommend checking out those VODs. Likewise, Maru looking dominant in the TvT matchup. He didn't drop a single map until the finals, but the finals was beautiful. The finals was amazing. To have a rematch between Maru and herO, and for it to go all the way to the ace match as well, I was a little bit concerned, especially after the GSL finals. I was concerned that maybe it was going to be a little bit more one-sided, but no, it went the distance, showing, of course, that herO and Maru are some of the best of the best. And again, I mentioned before, you know, you don't get a good finals without a good contender for the throne, and I do think this was beautiful in that respect, where both Maru and herO went back and forth, clearly very evenly matched in skill. Went all the way to that final game, and in the end, of course, went the way of Maru. And that's the second big win for Maru here in 2024. I believe he's our GSL champion for Season 1, and of course, now our StarsWar 11 champion. I mentioned before that that herO is becoming a bit of a Kong here. What that means, it's like a Korean term. It's what you would call someone who gets nothing but second places. Like Su was a Kong with nothing but GSL second places. Jadong, for example, Yellow as well. And this year, herO, he got second place here in StarsWar 11, he got second place in GSL Season 1, and he got second place in Masters Coliseum at the start of the year as well. So that's a lot of silver medals here for herO, and I'm hoping he can get a gold medal at some point. I mean, again, he's an amazing player, he's deserving for that kind of title, for that kind of trophy, but of course, there's a lot of competition here in StarCraft. For those who don't remember, in Masters Coliseum 7 at the start of the year, it was serral who was the champion, and herO came second to serral. And I believe, if I remember correctly, herO, he beat Raynor and Maru to actually make it to those finals. Yeah, so with that, hope you all had a great time. Hope you all had a great time here in over the weekend throughout StarsWar 11. If you're maybe tuning in for the first time, I know that we're having a lot of viewers for the first time as well. We are the CranKy Ducklings. We do stream, we do cast here on a very regular basis. I'm sorry, it was herO. He took down Raynor. Sorry, I remember now. Masters Coliseum 7, herO took down all the Zergs. Again, he showed that he had the best PvZ in the world. He took down Solar, Dark, Raynor, and only lost to serral in the finals. That was herO's run in Masters Coliseum. Solar, Dark, and Raynor. Damn. And even took maps off of serral as well. GG, man. GG. And even took down Max packs in that tournament. Yeah, was I just about to say, oh yeah, if you're maybe tuning in for the first time, here we are the CranKy Ducklings. I'm Light VIP, one of the co-founders of the CranKy Ducklings. We are a casting team. I am joined by other fellow Ducklings from time to time. Nowadays, a lot of them have been a little bit busy, but every now and then, you know, I've got Yakuzaku on, I've got AsherBro on, I've got Kuro on, I've got Chase and XZ, maybe some other guest caches as well. But yeah, usually I'm here on a daily basis. We cast every single day. We've been casting on a daily basis ever since COVID, ever since 2020. We started covering Pro StarCraft here in 2019, and we started going full-time in 2020. So we've been very active. We've been casting, we were on that grind set, and we cast more than any other caster out there. We hold that title where we're always casting, always. Speaking of always casting, tomorrow we're going to be live with ESL Open Cup Asia. That's going to be tomorrow. Of course, day after that is going to be ESL Open Cup Americas. We also have the Club NV X Duckling Showdown potentially. We still have to work out some details for that event. And as I mentioned before, we have WTL World Team League over the weekend. We have Kung Fu Cup on Wednesday. We have potentially OSC King of the Hill and some other catch-up streams as well. A lot of StarCraft here on the horizon, as always. Also, if you're interested, if you maybe want some VODs, we have a YouTube channel, ! YouTube in the chat. We're also co-streaming on YouTube. Big shout out to or thank you so much to all the people that were, of course, over on the YouTube channel as well that were watching. Thank you so much. But we do have a YouTube channel where we upload on a daily basis, and we will also co-stream as well. There's a lot of content on YouTube. We have, I just checked, we have 6,200. We have at least 6,200 videos on YouTube. We cast a lot, and by the way, that's with us having a backlog of like 4 months. So yeah, we have over 6K VODs on YouTube of just nothing but casting. We do a lot of casting, Papi. We do a lot of casting. So yeah, check us out there if you're interested. If you want some more content, YouTube's the place to be. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Big shout to Colossal Gob Colossi in the chat for resubscribing for 6 months. Maru the goat, Papi. Oh my god, thank you so much for resubscribing. We do appreciate it. And we're going to be signing off for the night. I'm going to be back tomorrow with ESL Open Cup Asia in less than 24 hours. Be there for some more Korean on Korean StarCraft. It's going to be an interesting ESL Open Cup because we're going to be missing some players. The players that were traveling for this event most likely will not be playing in ESL Open Cup Asia. So there's not going to be a herO. There's not going to be a Gumiho. Bear that in mind. So let's see if anyone can stop Dark. I mean, Byeon is going to be there too. We're going to be featuring players like Byeon, players like Dark, players like Xi'an, DRG, Kior, Nightmare, for example. Typically featured in ESL Open Cup Asia Classic as well. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for all the love. We'll see you guys then. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Get some food, get some water, get some rest, get some veg. We'll see you later. Ciao, papi, ciao. Thanks for watching. Hasta luego.